Chapter 4280. Ka. Just at this moment, the ground around them trembled. The ground split open, and skeletons crawled out of the ground one after another. These skeletons gave off terrifying pressure. Clearly, they were holy venerates. Black flames flickered in their eyes as a terrifying aura emanated from them. It can't be, right? The surrounding people all sucked in a breath of cold air. What should they do? Should they leave or finish off these skeletons? Just as Xiao Chen's group was caught in a dilemma, the skeletons attacked. 2 skeletons charged at Lin Xian. Both skeletons were middle-stage holy venerates. This was a great threat to regular holy venerates. However, it was still fine. These people had experienced the baptism of the holy halls before, and their cultivations had increased significantly. Otherwise, they might not have been able to resist the skeletons. On Lin Xian's side, he instantly faced 2 skeletons. The 2 gave off boundless killing chi. The terrifying world shook as the 2's palms turned into sabers and chopped at Xiao Chen. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Middle stage holy venerates? His figure flashed as he quickly left. At the same time, he unleashed his 9 yang divine body. Divine flames surged into the sky, forming a sun. This sun pressed down from the sky. Boom! The 2 skeletons were suppressed in an instant. Their bodies were trembling nonstop. The 9 yang divine flames spread out, encasing the 2. In the next moment, the 2 burned. Xiao Chen dealt with them so quickly. The surrounding people were shocked. This was too inconceivable. These skeletons were the equivalent of 2 middle-stage holy venerates. Could it be that the other party's strength had increased? It was him. The other party clearly did not increase his cultivation. These people gritted their teeth. Some people showed cold expressions. The other party possessed the 9 yang divine flame. The 9 yang divine flame was extremely tough and had an innate restraining effect on other cold things. That was why the other party was so strong. Lin Xian had just finished off 2 skeletons when another 3 charged over. Lin Xian snorted coldly and executed the 10 senses sword formation. A terrifying sword chi chopped apart the 3 skeletons. The other people were also incredibly strong, slowly shattering these white skeletons. However, these white skeletons shattered and reformed, forming even more powerful existences. For example, when Lin Xian killed 9 skeletons, the 9 skeletons regrouped and formed a skeleton that was even more powerful. Even Lin Xian was shocked. In fact, he was even forced back by the palm strike. It was too strong. Could these skeletons recombine with each other? Lin Xian saw that the 9 skeletons had 9 skulls with black flames dancing on top of them. The 9 arms descended and enveloped the entire area. The laws contained within the arms even suppressed the 9 yang divine flame. Lin Xian coldly snorted. Tiger Demon Fist. A terrifying aura erupted. On the other side, his palm was drawn in the shape of a golden crow. It opened and closed, and the 10 ultimate sword formation erupted with unparalleled power. He and the 9-headed skeleton fought fiercely. The Tiger Demon Fist carried an indomitable force as it smashed into the skeleton's body, causing it to retreat. Then the golden flames burned fiercely and engulfed the other party. The black flames on the other party's body were suppressed and kept cracking. 10 streaks of sword energy pierced through the bodies of these people. Next, Lin Xian and the others continued to fight. However, these white skeletons were endless. They could only be scattered, but they could not be completely destroyed. Once they were scattered, these white skeletons could be reborn again. They were simply impossible to kill. Gradually, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days passed. These people were exhausted. There were also some experts who were injured. After all, no matter how strong they were, there was no limit to their strength. Even Lin Xian's face was pale. What was going on? What was going on? What was going on? Thinking of this, he coldly snorted and slashed 2 skeletons with his sword. Then he strode forward. Unless they made a move on the tombs or the ancient altar, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Ordinary altars had extraordinary meanings. Therefore, he felt that the secret might be there. Lin Xian swept through everything. His powerful strength suppressed everything. He charged forward forcefully, and the laws on his body continued to erupt. The dragon's roar resounded through heaven and earth. After half a day, he finally reached the front. He was only 10 meters away from the ancient altar. In front of him, there were only 3 skeletons left. For Lin Xian, it was not a problem. He was about to make a move, but at this moment, a low and strange voice sounded. "All right, all of you stop now." As soon as this voice sounded, everyone's hair stood on end. Was there anyone else here? It was obvious that this was not their companion, nor was it a protector, nor was it a holy king. Who was it? Was there anyone else here? Was it from the ancient tomb? Lin Xian's pupils also shrank. He was facing a great enemy, and did not make a move. Following this sentence, the surrounding white skeletons continued to shatter. They sank into the ground again. It was as if nothing had happened. Everyone was shocked. Who could have such a method with just a sentence? Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with golden light. He stared at the stone house. He knew where the voice came from. In the next moment, he saw an old figure walk out from inside. There was actually someone here. When the powerhouses of the other holy cities saw this scene, they were also shocked. No way. Why didn't they sense it before? One had to know that they were all holy venerables, and there were many late-stage holy venerables. If there was someone here, they would definitely know. In the next moment, they looked carefully and then gasped. They realized that there was no aura on the old man's body. No wonder they couldn't sense it. In that case, was the old man alive or dead? If he was alive, why was there no aura on his body? If he was dead, why was he still alive? The world has changed, and the sun and moon have rotated. I didn't expect that someone would come after so long. It's really surprising. This voice was filled with power. The old man opened his eyes, and his gaze shrouded Lin Xian and the others. Everyone sucked in a cold breath. What did this old man mean? What was there to be happy about? That old man was as thin as a skeleton. Fortunately, the old man still had flesh and blood, but it was very little. There were really many people here this time. It seemed that they would be able to have a good meal this time. As soon as he said that, everyone was shocked. Could it be that the old man wanted to eat them? Even Lin Xian looked solemn. The old man didn't care about the fear of everyone. His eyes flickered, and then he pointed at Lu Xuanxin. "Come over here." Lu Xuanxin's heart skipped a beat, and she was about to cry. Was this old man going to eat her? The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also walked up and said, "What are you trying to do?" The old man smiled and said, "Why? Are you worried? I just want her to get some water for me." "Old man, I haven't eaten for so many years, and I'm hungry. Get some water? I'll help you." A genius from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion said, "Where is it?" The old man pointed at a wooden barrel beside him and said, "Where is the wooden barrel? Where is the water?" This time he was pointing at a tomb. Whether you can get it out or not depends on your ability. However, I don't think you can do it. Hearing that, the genius was furious. "Isn't it just getting water? What's so impossible about that?" He snorted coldly, grabbed the wooden barrel, and walked towards the tomb. In the next moment, the tomb split open and wrapped around him. Chapter 4281. Not long after that person went in, he came out. Half of his body was gone, and blood was flowing. His face was filled with fear. At the same time, everyone saw some yellow spring water in the cracked tomb. Heavens! Is the so-called fetching water the yellow spring water? Go and light the fire for me. Then he pointed at another person. This time, he was pointing at the people from the demon city. The people from the demon city snorted coldly. Why? He asked through gritted teeth. Because of this. A terrifying killing intent erupted from the old man's eyes. Immediately, the body of the person from the demon city shattered and turned into snow mist. His soul screamed in horror. Are you qualified now? The old man asked. The soul in the sky nodded frantically. Yes, I'll go and light the fire for you now. The old man pointed at the others. Go and chop some wood for me. In the end, these people began to take action. There was nothing they could do. This old man was really too strong. Soon, a shocking vibration sounded. This was not the outbreak of a battle, but someone was chopping a tree. However, that tree had a cold aura and grew in the tomb. That was the Suzuki tree. After tens of thousands of years, even a mid-stage Saint Venerable could only make a small crack on it. In other words, the full-strength attack of a Saint Venerable could only make a crack. It would take an incense stick of time to coax it open. The person whose body had been blown apart earlier had an ugly expression. If he wanted to light such a tree, he would have to vomit blood. What should I eat? The old man looked into the distance and reached out a large hand to grab the void. It extended for tens of thousands of miles. Not long after, he retracted his palm. A huge creature was brought back by him and fell to the ground. The world shook nonstop. Everyone was terrified. Then they gasped. The creature that was caught was a small saint demonic beast. It could dominate a region outside, but it could only become food in the mouth of others here. Next, everyone was assigned a task. Even Lin Xian and the others were assigned a task. These people did not resist, but did as they were told. They originally thought that they could leave by pleasing this old man. However, after the old man finished eating, he said, "Not bad. You guys are very obedient. Since that's the case, then stay by my side and help me do these chores every day." What? Hearing this, everyone became angry. What kind of joke was this? Originally, these people could still leave. However, if the other party wanted to force them to stay here, they would not agree. Someone sneered and left. These people flew into the sky, and the old man formed a seal with his palm. All of a sudden, the surrounding curtains split open, and terrifying phantoms flew out from within. There was the terrifying Yellow Springs water and a white bone claw. There were even headless riders and demonic beasts with broken wings. What a terrifying fairy. Those figures were like gods of war. These illusions should have permeated the world. It emitted an extremely terrifying aura that enveloped all the people around it. The surrounding people were so scared that their scalps went numb. They instantly retreated. In the sky, those terrifying phantoms floated up and down, as if they could suppress everything. The elder laughed. "How is it? You still dare to resist? If you stay here obediently, I won't kill you. Otherwise, I'll kill you. These tombs might be the places where you fell." After saying that, he sneered and went into the stone house to rest. The faces of the people outside became incomparably ugly. Damn it, what should they do? Some people gritted their teeth. Among them, the people from the ancient grotto snorted coldly. What kind of joke was this? How could we be trapped by the other party? These people prepared to attack. The other people from the holy city were also prepared to attack. They clashed with those terrifying phantoms. Instantly, a great battle broke out. But not long after, they despaired because they realized that they couldn't break out of the encirclement. These phantoms were really too terrifying. He must have been an incredible figure when he was alive. Even if he was dead, he could still use some great divine abilities. Damn it, they were unwilling to accept this. At this time, the people from the ancient grotto said, "This place is too strange. I think this old man is the key. When he comes out tomorrow, we'll directly kill this old man. Without him, I don't believe that these phantoms will appear again." All right. The people from the Yellow Springs Hall nodded. The other people from the Holy City also prepared to join forces to kill that mysterious old man. On the other side, Lin Xian also gathered quite a few people. Morong Qingqing asked Brother Xian, "What should we do?" Lin Xian said, "I have a feeling that this place isn't ordinary. It's better not to act rashly. Let's take a look at the situation first." Lin Xian frowned and looked around. They didn't attack. Those terrifying phantoms disappeared again. But after dark, they once again appeared between heaven and earth. It was abnormally terrifying. Everyone felt their hair stand on end. It wasn't until dawn that the phantoms disappeared. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. A hint of doubt appeared in his eyes. On the other side, the venerables of the ancient grotto were ready to attack. But on this day, the old man didn't come out at all. Just like that, he didn't come out for the second and third days. He only came out on the fifth day. And in these 5 nights, Lin Xian had already discovered some strange situations. Because he discovered that these cemeteries were very tall. Obviously, this person was not ordinary. However, there was a mound in the corner. There wasn't even a tombstone, but it was also a tomb. Whose was it? Wasn't it too inconspicuous? However, for so many experts to be buried together, the person's identity shouldn't be too weak. Lin Xian noticed that in his eyes, the heavenly divine, I seemed to be able to see through everything. Suddenly, he was stunned because he discovered that there was nothing inside. It was actually empty. There was nothing inside. This puzzled him greatly. On the 6th day, the old man came out again. This time, the old man started to command these people again. Those people from the holy city pretended to agree and prepared to take action. Unknowingly, they came to the old man's side and suddenly attacked. The ones who attacked were all late-stage holy venerables. The 2 10,000 sword pavilion sword venerables sent sword chi flying, illuminating the entire place. When their swords descended, they split the world. The people from the ancient grotto made a move. Laws surrounded him, making him look like a demonic god. They attacked strongly. 10,000 beams of light enveloped that person. In addition, the people from the Great Desolate Mansion, the 10,000 Fiend City, and the Thunder God City all attacked strongly. They revealed sinister smiles. With so many late-stage holy venerables attacking together, the other party would probably be beaten into a bloody mist. Indeed, after one attack, that place turned into primal chaos. The people from the ancient grotto turned their heads and stared at Lin Xian and the others. Since they already attacked, they might as well deal with them together. They would kill that brat. These people showed cold expressions as they walked towards Lin Xian and the others. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Ling Hu Chue Xue. Fu Hongya and the others stood up. Morong Qingcheng and the others also stood up. Was the battle about to start? In the distance, the people from the 3 dragon races, the Kunlun Pavilion, and the others also prepared to attack at any time. Chapter 4282. It was very likely that another earth-shattering holy war would break out between the 2 sides. However, at that moment, a sneer could be heard from the shattered void. "Do you think you can kill me with just a few of you? You must be dreaming. Since you don't know what's good for you, I'll teach you a lesson." After saying that, a terrifying killing intent soared into the sky. Everyone felt their hair stand on end. Could it be a Sage King? No way. There's a Sage King here. Some people retreated in fear. However, at that moment, an old man from the primordial grotto frowned. No, he's not a real Sage King. He's only one step away from becoming one. We still have hope. Let's attack together. Those people roared. Among them, the old man from the primordial grotto took out a bottle of crystal swords that shone brightly. A terrifying sword intent swept across the area. When the surrounding people sensed the aura, their expressions changed again. That was a Sage King level weapon. Oh heavens! Someone actually took out such a weapon? The people from the Akron Hall also took out their gourds. The Acheron gourd was also a Sage King level weapon. On the great desolate mansion's side, a desolate mirror shot out. The three Sage King level weapons swept in all directions. Everyone felt their hair stand on end. The old man roared in anger. A great battle broke out. These people all had Sage King level weapons. Yu Ruo and the others looked solemn. Linghu Chueshua said, "Let's break out of the encirclement quickly." After saying that, they hurriedly moved. Some of the surrounding people attacked the old man, while others prepared to break out of the encirclement. Countless terrifying phantoms appeared in the surrounding cemeteries. "Get lost!" Linghu Chueshua roared in anger. He also pierced through heaven and earth with his sword. The unparalleled sacred sword was also in his hand. It was obvious that the unparalleled Sage King was also well prepared. This sword cleaved through everything. They quickly rushed out. On the other side, the other sage cities also took out their sage artifacts. It seemed that these sage cities had prepared such trump cards. At that moment, a terrifying aura blew down from the sky. A huge seal pressed down. Linghu Chueshua's expression changed. Not good. He raised the unparalleled sacred sword. He slashed out with his sword. The two weapons collided and released a terrifying energy wave. Then he was forced back. Lin Xian and the others were also forced back. It was clear that the seal was also a Saint King's weapon. Someone was ambushing them. Who was it? They raised their heads and saw the people from the demon city sneering. Meanwhile, a great desolation flag landed on Lin Xian's side and froze him in place. The space he was in continued to shatter. Not good. The faces of the surrounding people changed. It seemed like these people were targeting Lin Xian. As expected, several figures descended from the sky. There were people from both the demon city and the great desolate mansion. Among them, the people from the 10,000 demon city were restraining Linghu Chueshua and the others. The people of the great desolate mansion looked at Lin Xian. "Brat, you run pretty fast, but do you think you can run away? In the second stage, you killed so many of our people. Do you think we will spare you? Today is the day you die. How dare you?" Murong Qingcheng roared angrily, emitting a terrifying aura. Linghu Chueshua and the others were the same. For a moment, the two sides were in a standoff. Terrifying laws collided with each other, causing countless large cracks to spread out. It seemed like the two sides were about to engage in a huge battle. "It's useless. Stop struggling." The people from the Thunder God City had also arrived. In the sky, a lightning hammer restrained Murong Qingcheng. This way, victory was in their hands. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and sneered. "Do you think you can kill me like this? What? Do you think you can still escape?" The expert from the great desolate mansion sneered. He was Huang Wu. At this moment, his eyes were filled with coldness. "Since you dare to go against us, you have to bear the consequences. I admit that you are strong, but so what? What right do you have to be arrogant in front of the Saint King's weapon?" Yu Ruo, Lu Yuan, and the others were extremely nervous. Indeed, the Saint King's weapon was too strong. Lin Xian laughed. "Is that so? Do I have the right? You can give it a try. However, I advise you not to make a move. If you fight me, you will end up in a terrible state. You sure talk big. Do you really think you can turn the tables in my hands?" Huang Wu sneered. He had the desolate heaven tyrannical flag in his hand. How could he lose? "Today, you will die." With a shout, he waved the desolate heaven tyrannical flag in his hand. Endless desolation laws spread out. This was the weapon of the Saint King's marshal. When it was used, its power was at its peak. The surrounding people all spat out blood and retreated. Not good. Linghu Chueshua used the unparalleled sword to block the attack. However, he could not help Lin Xian. This was because he was firmly restrained by the 10,000 demon seal. Sensing the terrifying aura, Lin Xian felt a chill run down his spine. To be honest, he was not afraid because he had a trump card. In fact, he did not need to use the great dragon sword soul. Before he came, the unparalleled Saint King had not only given Linghu Chueshua the unparalleled Saint Sword, but he had also returned the Great Sage Pagoda and the Great Destruction Spear to him. This meant that Lin Xian also had a Saint King's weapon. He even had a Great Sage's defensive weapon. Linghu Chueshua would be courting death if he fought with him. However, he did not plan to use these two land cards yet. This was because he still had a trump card, and that was his cultivation level. Previously, in the second star system, he was suppressed by the heavenly axiom and could not break through because it would attract divine punishment. However, it was different here. Planet Shiyuan had the aura left behind by the great emperor. It was extremely mysterious, and even the heavenly axiom could not completely affect this ancient battlefield. Thinking about it, it should be a place for him to break through. Therefore, Lin Xian decided to give it a try. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. Then, the dragon in his body roared, and a terrifying aura burst out. The seal in his body was broken. The power that had been suppressed for a long time swept out in all directions like a flash flood. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying power reverberated between heaven and earth, and the entire world became gloomy. Everyone looked up in horror and found that countless dark clouds had appeared in the sky. It had gathered for 9 days. Some people gasped, "This kid's aura, could it be that he was about to break through? How was that possible?" Huang Wu's pupils shrank, and his face became extremely ugly. Previously, when they entered the sacred tower, their strength had increased. Some people had even broken through directly. He had broken through from the beginner to the mid-stage of the Holy Venerate, and his strength had increased greatly. However, there was one exception, and that was Lin Xian. Back then, Lin Xian's cultivation level and aura had not changed at all. This strange scene caused many people to be puzzled. Now, he had finally displayed a powerful aura. Could it be that he had waited until now to break through? Moreover, the great sage had told them that he was a person abandoned by the heavens. They felt that he had calculated his breakthrough at this time. Humph! He snorted coldly. "You want to break through? Impossible! You will stay in this realm for the rest of your life." Huang Wu's eyes flashed with madness. He activated the desolate heaven tyrant flag in his hand with all his might. Chapter 4283. Huang Wu wanted to stop Lin Xian's breakthrough in advance, but it was obvious that he couldn't do it. Following the sound of thunder, tens of thousands of lightning bolts swallowed the space. The surrounding people's pupils shrank. "Oh no, let's leave." They retreated quickly, but the lightning tribulation of a small saint was terrifying. Moreover, the lightning tribulation would affect them. If they went in, they would be hit even harder. Especially when they had sage weapons, it was unimaginable. Therefore, these people retreated frantically. Huang Wu's pupils shrank. He didn't expect Lin Xian's power to be so strong. It was beyond his expectations. Since he couldn't kill Lin Xian, he could only leave. Thinking of this, he quickly retreated with the desolate heaven tyrannical flag. "Do you still want to leave?" "Stay." Lin Xian's eyes shone coldly. Like a bolt of lightning, he flew towards Huang Wu. Along with it, there were countless lightning bolts. No, Huang Wu was about to cry. Was Lin Xian trying to kill him? He retreated quickly, but Lin Xian was very fast. He rushed up in an instant. In the next moment, lightning struck. Lin Xian spat out blood, as if he was struck by lightning. However, he smiled. This kind of impact was nothing to him. As long as he could break through, he would recover instantly. However, it was different for Huang Wu. Huang Wu used the desolate heaven tyrannical flag to block it, but in an instant, he found an even more terrifying lightning bolt. It seemed to be able to destroy the world. Huang Wu threw the desolate heaven tyrannical flag away. This was the aura of a sage. He couldn't block the lightning tribulation at all. However, after throwing it away, he was hit by the same impact. He spat out blood, and his body shattered. However, he knew that with his strength he should be able to dodge it. Between heaven and earth, there was the sound of thunder. Everyone retreated far away. In the sea of lightning, Lin Xian endured the lightning as he strode forward. A huge hand reached out and grabbed in front of him. The void shattered, and the sun and moon dimmed. In front, Huang Wu was trying his best to block the lightning. The impact of the lightning on him was even more terrifying than Lin Xian. At this moment, he saw someone attacking him and roared. Damn it! The two of them fought in the sea of lightning, causing the entire space to tremble. Desolation's eyes shone with a cold light. He wanted to draw the lightning tribulation from his body onto the other party. However, the power of the divine body was beyond his imagination. Even though Lin Xian had endured a lot of lightning, he wasn't crushed. Instead, he attacked frantically. Soon, desolate, unchanged, collapsed. He had already used all his strength to support these lightning bolts, and with Lin Xian's help, he was directly blown apart. His power was scattered in an instant. 10,000 lightning bolts struck the blood mist again, and he was severely injured. Desolate even had the heart to die. He simply couldn't resist this scene. The only thing he could rely on was the barren heaven tyrannical flag, which was the Saint King's weapon. It could defend against everything. But at this moment, he did not dare to use it, because once he used it, he would attract a Saint King-level heavenly tribulation. If that happened, he would die even more miserably. Just like that, in the midst of struggle and entanglement, his heart and soul were destroyed. This thunderbolt attracted the attention of countless people, and even the great battle in the distance calmed down. Countless eyes looked over, and finally, they saw the sea of lightning disappear. A figure appeared. Those from the great desolate mansion couldn't believe it. Where's Desolate? Has he been killed? Damn it. They snatched the barren heaven tyrannical flag back, and their eyes were filled with endless, murderous intent. Lin Xian's aura had changed. He was at the peak of the small saint realm and had finally reached the beginner saint realm. His strength had increased. There was an earth-shattering change. Damn it. Kill him. Those from the great desolate mansion held the barren heaven tyrannical flag and rushed over again. When Wushuang City and Murong Qingcheng saw this scene, their faces changed, and they wanted to help. Lin Xian sneered. He took out a devouring treasure bottle, and the power in it poured down. Once again, it enveloped him. The lightning that had already disappeared from the sky was replaced by another bolt of lightning. It was even more terrifying than before. It descended. The surrounding people went crazy. Heavens, how could this be? Is this kid still going to break through? He just broke through. Damn it. This is the power of the Saint Hall. He didn't absorb it previously, and instead he pretended to. The surrounding people went crazy. Run away. At this moment, these people fled in all directions. Lin Xian roared into the sky like a god of war. His body that had just recovered split open again, and blood dyed the sky red. However, the light in his eyes was even brighter. It made him look like a giant, and he flew quickly in the sky. He charged towards the enemy. Those from the great desolate mansion were instantly sent flying, and they vomited blood. They wrapped the barren heaven tyrannical flag and fled quickly. Lin Xian turned around and charged towards the Thunder God City. Thunder God City's people were scared out of their wits. Although they were Thunder Dao experts, they couldn't do anything about it. Although they were Thunder Gods, they couldn't withstand the heavenly tribulation at all. After being bombarded, their bodies turned black. They also fled quickly. Next, the Thousand Demon City and the Akron Hall were also attacked. Those from the primordial grotto wanted to be arrogant, but after being struck, they were also smoking. They fled quickly. For a moment, no one dared to stay in this space. Everyone had left. Between heaven and earth, there was only the terrifying lightning that filled the air. It lasted for a long time before it slowly disappeared. Lin Xian walked out of the sea of lightning again. This time, he directly broke through to the middle stage of the Holy Venerate realm. The power that he had suppressed previously finally erupted. Now, he clenched his fists. Ordinary middle stage, Holy Venerates were nothing in front of him. Even now, when facing a Holy Venerate, he didn't need to use any powerful trump cards to contend with them. This was the change that the increase in strength brought to him. Big Brother Xian, Murong Qingcheng, Shen Jingqiu, and the others flew over with joy on their faces. Ling Hu, Cui Xue, and the others also came over. In the distance, Guan Songhai and Qin Xianer also came over. These people all congratulated him. Lin Xian also smiled and thanked the protectors. Seeing that Lin Xian was fine, Ling Hu Cui Xue also said, "All right, let's collect the holy ruler wills next." After all, only with these things could they go to the legendary hidden Emperor Star. The others also nodded. Everyone would get at least one. Therefore, these people prepared to split up. They guessed that the other holy cities wouldn't stay together for too long. They would have to search quickly. The holy ruler wills were the most important. After discussing, everyone split up. Of course, they didn't act alone. Normally, 2 or 3 people would act together. Lin Xian, Murong Qingcheng, and Shen Jingqiu would act together. The 3 of them formed a small team and flew into the distance. Lin Xian used his heavenly secret divine eyes to scan with all his might. Golden light swept out, enveloping everything. Chapter 4284. 3 streaks of light streaked across the sky. It was Lin Xian and the other 2. They passed through the mountains and rivers, quickly searching for the Sage King's will. It had to be said that this place was really too terrifying. The murderous aura was terrifying. It was unknown just how many powerful experts had fallen here in the past. Logically speaking, it shouldn't be a problem to find a Sage King in such a place. However, after searching for so long, they still couldn't find one. There were even some places that they didn't dare to step into easily. The mountain in front seemed a little special. Shen Jingqiu pointed at a mountain in the distance. Lin Xian opened his heavenly secret god eyes and took a look. Then he said, "Let's go over." The 3 of them flew forward. The aura around them gradually became abnormal. In the end, their faces changed. They felt a sense of danger. There should be something in front of them. That powerful great Tao will made them unable to breathe. Could it really be the Sage King's will? Great, they finally got one. There was a mountain in front. It looked ordinary, but the aura it emitted was extraordinary. There weren't any trees on the mountain, only some strange rocks. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a terrifying storm blew over. Those rocks were all shattered. At the same time, a fiery red light appeared in the cracks. Countless runes appeared on the mountain. It was abnormally mysterious, like the great Tao intertwining. At the same time, an even more violent aura spread out. What a terrifying power! Moreover, it was the power of fire. Could it be left behind by a fire elemental Sage King? Countless flames spread out in all directions with the mountain as the center. In the end, the surrounding ground was also fiery red. Many runes appeared. Lin Xian and the others were shocked when they saw it. What a terrifying scene. What kind of battle happened here back then? Lin Xian was overjoyed. The 9 suns' divine fire on his body jumped and swept through the 9 heavens. "Let's go and take a look." The 3 of them approached quickly. However, when they arrived at the mountain, everyone felt an extremely powerful aura. Murong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu didn't go closer. Instead, they said, Sage Kings should be the fire Dao will. Brother Xian is very suitable for you. Lin Xian nodded. He asked the two of them to wait at the back while he went forward. As soon as Lin Xian approached the mountain peak, endless flames rushed over and engulfed the 9 heavens. The aura it emitted was boundless, shrouding the entire world. Lin Xian roared and slapped out with his palm, tearing everything apart. It was as if he had turned into the fire god Squad One to fight against it. An earth-shattering voice was heard. Lin Xian wanted to enter the volcano. At the same time, the commotion here naturally spread into the distance. There were even people flying over from afar. Murong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu's expressions turned grim. Murong Qingcheng shouted coldly, "The Kunlun Pavilion has matters to attend to, so all unrelated people are to leave." After he finished speaking, the terrifying phantom of Kunlun Mountain floated between heaven and earth. The people around him stopped, bewildered. Was it as powerful as the Kunlun Pavilion? They did not move forward. However, at this moment, an even more shocking fluctuation came from the mountain in front of them. A terrifying will swept across the land. The surrounding people's expressions changed when they sensed it. Could it be the will of the Sage King? Great, they actually found it. Previously, these people were still a little afraid, but now that they sensed this aura, their eyes turned red. They pounced over crazily. Do they have a death wish? Shen Jingqiu snorted coldly, and countless Dao runes appeared on her body. She was about to use her cosmic form. Murong Qingcheng had indeed said, "Forget it, there are too many people. We can't stop them all. Moreover, let them go." Not just anyone could enter the front. Moreover, once there were too many people, there would be fights between them. All right, Shen Jingqiu did not attack again. She allowed those people to charge forward. Those people turned into streaks of lightning and were extremely fast. However, in an instant, many people were forced back. What a terrifying flame. Damn it. Some people roared in anger. They did not expect to see such a scene. Shen Jingqiu smirked coldly. Murong Qingcheng's eyes flickered. Did they really think that just anyone could enter? Without a strong physique or divine ability, it was impossible to get close, not to mention obtaining the will of the Sage King. However, suddenly his pupils constricted, and a look of shock appeared in his eyes. The reason for that was because he sensed an even more terrifying aura coming from the sky. In the distance, a stream of light tore through the 9 heavens. Not good. An expert is coming. Shen Jingqiu also felt it. She stopped smiling, and a look of seriousness appeared in her eyes. Boom. A large mountain moved quickly and finally arrived nearby. Everyone was shocked to find that it was a huge demon beast. Its body was burning with purple flames. It was a 3-eyed fire demon ape. Everyone was shocked and swallowed their saliva. This was a very terrifying beast of heaven and earth, and its cultivation was very powerful. It had reached the late stage of the holy venerable realm. Murong Qingcheng and Murong Qingcheng's expressions turned incomparably cold. They knew that this was a powerhouse from the demon city. The other party was actually here. It was someone from the demon city. Retreat quickly. The surrounding people frantically retreated. For a moment, everyone was terrified. Someone in front also retreated and exclaimed. The person inside was Lin Wudi. What? It was actually him. There would be a good show to watch now. Lin Wudi and the Demon City were sworn enemies. Now that a late-stage holy venerable from the Demon City had arrived, he would definitely not let Lin Wudi off. Discussions rang out. Everyone was prepared to watch the battle first, and then fish in troubled waters. They retreated far away and looked forward. After the 3-eyed fire demon ape arrived, its terrifying aura suppressed the surroundings. When it saw everyone retreating, it had a look of disdain in its eyes. Then it looked forward with its 3 eyes. When it saw the terrifying flaming mountain, Joy appeared in its eyes. However, when it saw that there was a figure below the mountain, a cold, murderous intent appeared in its eyes. Lin Xian. It was actually him. This was great. They had searched high and low for him, only to find him by chance. Originally, they wanted to kill him. Now, they did not expect him to appear together with the Sage King's will. This was killing two birds with one stone. Murong Qingcheng sent a voice transmission to Lin Xian from afar. Actually, there was no need for him to do so. Lin Xian could sense it too. He turned his head and saw the mountain-like figure. A cold light flashed in his eyes. Someone from the demon city? Old thing, yours truly has no time to bother with you now. Hurry up and scram. I'll spare your life. Otherwise, don't blame me for not being courteous. Lin Xian's voice rang out. The surrounding people went crazy. What was this guy talking about? The three-eyed fire demon from the demon city was enraged as well. In the next moment, it let out a thunderous laughter. And are you trying to provoke me? You think you have what it takes? His eyes were filled with disdain as he sent a slap over. Chapter 4285. The palm pressed down like the sky, shattering heaven and earth as it encased Lin Xian. Lin Xian's figure flashed, instantly dodging and arriving in another space. Old fellow, do you really think that you can suppress me? Xiao Chun snorted coldly. This angered Lin Xian. Now, his cultivation had broken through 2 cultivation realms, reaching middle stage, Holy Venerate. Xiao Chen's strength had undergone a complete transformation long ago. Now, he did not fear facing a late-stage Holy Venerate alone. Murong Qingcheng and Xin Jingchu wanted to go over as well. However, Lin Xian sent them a voice projection. There's no need. I just broke through and want to test my strength. Just the 2 of you will be my protector. The 2 nodded. They also knew that Lin Xian's strength had increased long ago, so there was no need to worry. The surrounding people were stunned. This fellow wanted to challenge a late-stage Holy Venerate alone? Where did he get his confidence from? Did this fellow think that he was still in the 2nd stage? In the 2nd stage, late-stage Holy Venerates had to suppress their cultivation to fight. However, in this place there were no rules to be followed. Indeed, the 3 mature demonic fire ape smiled coldly. Brat, do you think that you can challenge me just because you killed Holy Venerate Hegu? You are really reckless. Now, I'll show you the true strength of a late-stage Holy Venerate. After saying that, the 3 mature demonic fire ape opened his mouth and spewed out an overwhelming purple sea of flames that turned into boundless red light. Then, it charged at Lin Xian, instantly encasing the space around Lin Xian. The overwhelming fire swallowed up everything. Do you think that this fellow will get instantly killed in one move? Some people already started laughing coldly. After all, this was the strength of a late-stage Holy Venerate. Even from so far away, they felt despair. How could the other party possibly contend against it? Lin Xian looked at these purple flames and snorted coldly. In the next moment, he clenched his hand into a fist and punched. The 9 young divine flames surged out and turned into 9 suns. These 9 suns exploded in the sky and blocked the purple flames. Boom, boom, boom. The 2 flames clashed in the sky, the 2 great Tao clashing continuously. The sky crumbled and the earth cracked. Lin Xian waved his hand and repelled the purple flames. He looked forward and laughed coldly. Is this all you've got? Stop trying to test me. My strength is beyond your imagination. If you want to defeat me, you'll have to show me your true ability. Otherwise, let's see how you'll withstand my wrath. After he finished speaking, Lin Xian waved his hand and used the Tiger Demon Fist. The golden flames, combined with the indomitable aura, formed a heavenly flaming steel. He descended from the sky, wanting to suppress the other party. This move was extremely terrifying. Now that it was used by Lin Xian, it was even more terrifying than before. Seeing this, the three-eyed demonic fire ape was enraged. The other party actually dared to look down on him, and even dared to take the initiative to attack him. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. He decided to display his true strength and let the other party know what it meant to be a late-stage holy venerable, raging inferno war. Following his furious roar, the purple flames on his body erupted as he stretched out his palm. Countless Tao patterns appeared on his palm, interweaving with the great Tao. Then he swung his palm down. The power of this one was much more tyrannical than before. It could be said that they could not be mentioned in the same breath. Clearly, this was a powerful move. The surrounding people retreated in horror, their complexions pale. Several people nearly knelt on the ground. A middle stage Holy Venerate would not be able to survive this attack. Even a late stage Holy Venerate of the same cultivation would not dare to clash head-on. Shun Jingqiu exclaimed, her eyes filled with worry. Murong Qingcheng remained expressionless. However, he clenched his fists tightly. His fingertips turned somewhat white. It was obvious that he was extremely nervous. Buzz. Lin Xian snorted coldly. A similarly sharp, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. The laws and energy that appeared in his body surged continuously. Tiger Demon Fist, fourth move. Divine Martial. As Xiao Chun spoke, his black fist suddenly released an unparalleled light. At the same time, a scene seemed to appear in Lin Xian's mind. That was the scene of Xiao Chun comprehending the dragon race's breathing technique on Mount Longhu. Back then, he did not have any tiger race's breathing technique, so he could not comprehend it. However, he remembered that scene deeply in his mind. Now, as he executed the Tiger Demon Fist, the same scene appeared again. He seemed to sense a strange breathing technique awakening. Following this vibration, his entire arm seemed to have turned into a peerless divine lake roaring at the sky. Roar. A roar was heard. A terrifying power exploded in the 9 heavens. It caused the surrounding void to shatter into pieces. The surrounding people were all stunned. Where did this roar come from? The tiger, the king of beasts, suppressed everything. They all looked around. Then, their pupils shrank. It was Lin Xian. How was this possible? Why was there a roar again? Wasn't he related to the dragon race? These people were about to go crazy. The three-eyed fire demon ape felt its chi and blood tremble when it heard the roar. It was actually related to the tiger race. This kid could not be left alive. A strong murderous intent appeared in its eyes. Xiao Chun was related to Mount Longhu. There must be a special inheritance in his body. If it killed Xiao Chun and obtained the inheritance, it might be able to further evolve its bloodline. By then, it might even reach the sacred ruler realm in advance. Kid, hand over your secret obediently. It sneered. The purple palm was even more terrifying. It grabbed at Lin Xian. Boom. A ferocious tiger pounced from the sky and collided with the purple palm. The energy produced by the collision was terrifying. Everything in the surroundings was turned into ashes. Apart from the fiery mountain, the others had retreated into the distance. Their bodies were trembling, and their faces were filled with fear. Even the people in the distance felt the ripple. They all sent out their soul spirits to investigate. Who exactly was fighting? Were they 2 peak sacred venerables? Did they block it? Amidst the shattered void, they saw that the purple palm had stopped in midair and did not descend again. They did not expect Lin Xian to be able to fight against a late-stage sacred venerate with his own strength. It was unbelievable. How strong was his body? How strong was it? Why did I feel that he was already a late-stage sacred venerate? A series of exclamations could be heard. As for the purple palm in the sky, it retreated once again. Following it, it launched a stronger attack at Xiao Chun. The flames on the palm, felt like they were going to destroy everything. Lin Xian showed no fear. He swung his fist again. The tiger demon fist was incomparably executed by him. At that moment, it was as if a godly tiger had come back to life. The successive collisions caused the void to turn into chaos. Even the flames on the purple palm dimmed. They were even trembling. The three-eyed fire demon ape wore an unpleasant expression. This guy was actually able to fight against it. Chapter 4286. This brat must have secretly taken a medicinal pill or executed some secret technique. That is how he can contend with me. I want to see how long he can last. The three-eyed fire demonic ape snorted coldly. After all, it was a true late-stage holy venerate. It did not believe that the other party could contend with it forever. The purple flames on its body became even more horrifying. At the same time, its body became even larger. It was like it had become a huge, great, desolate Ian beast. The three-eyed fire demonic ape kept waving its palms. It was like 100,000 mountains were descending, suppressing everything. Lin Xian's face turned sullen. He snorted coldly and formed hand seals. Laws flew out and formed the 10 absolute sword formation around him. Kill. The 10 absolute sword formation gave off dragon roars and terrifying sword chi. The sword chi flew around continuously, piercing through the sky. Boom, boom, boom. Countless strands of sword chi flew into the sky and clashed with the purple palms. There was an earth-shattering sound. Following that, cracks appeared on the purple palms. A terrifying aura filled the air, and the surrounding people were all stunned. They heard the sound of something shattering. What's going on? These people looked over. Then, their eyes nearly popped out. The purple palms were actually about to shatter. This was too inconceivable. Everyone was stunned. The atmosphere turned somewhat quiet. They simply could not believe what was happening. Boom. Another explosion rang out, and the 10 ultimate sword formation was knocked back. It circled around Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also knocked back, smashing through space. Lin Xian's complexion was somewhat pale. However, his lips curled up in a smile. Lin Xian looked to the front. In front of them, a huge black shadow was burning with purple flames. That was a pair of purple palms. At this moment, they were covered in cracks. Following a loud explosion, the crack opened with a loud rumble. The palm shattered. Clumps of blood wrapped in flames fell from the sky. The ground was pierced and the mountain peak was smashed apart. It looked like the end of the world. What late-stage holy venerate. That's all there is to it. Lin Xian smiled coldly. Roar. The three-eyed fire demonic ape reared its head back and roared furiously. He was actually injured. Although his arm was broken, it was only a minor injury to him. But this was a slap to his face. The other party was weaker than him by an entire realm, but was actually able to injure him. Damn it! With a roar, he raised his foot and stomped down viciously. This strike was earth-shattering, and it was filled with incomparable fury. Lin Xian's figure flashed as he quickly dodged the attack. The surrounding ground continued to shatter. The broken body of the three-eyed fire demon ape healed once again. His palms recovered and began to close together. It directly hit Lin Xian. With a boom, it completely enveloped Lin Xian, as if he was swatting a fly. Many people's eyelids twitched when they saw this. This strike was enough to shatter his bones. Murong Qingcheng and Xin Jingqiu looked worried again. The three-eyed fire demon ape laughed coldly. Let's see how you die this time. However, his smile quickly disappeared. That was because his palm had shattered once again. 36 swords flew out and circled around Lin Xian. Xian executed the Heavenly Dipper sword. Together with the absolute sword technique, he was extremely strong. Brat, you have thoroughly angered me. The three-eyed fire demon ape roared. He opened his mouth and spat out countless flames, which turned into a long saber. This was his weapon. He held it with both hands. The saber split, opened the sky. It clashed with the battle swords. Boom! Lin Xian was sent flying in an instant. His 30 battle swords were trembling nonstop. This saber strike was too terrifying. It was a peak saber strike of a late-stage holy venerate. Even Lin Xian could not block it with his full strength. He kept retreating, crashing through mountains and rivers. However, his physique was extremely strong. This saber strike only caused his qi and blood to churn. It did not injure him. The 36 battle swords combined again. The 10 absolute sword formation erupted with unparalleled power. The battle between the two turned into a storm. At the same time, Lin Xian attacked again. The tiger demon fist erupted again. The ferocious tiger phantom roared, suppressing the 9 heavens. On the other side, there were dragon roars from the 10 absolute sword formation. The dragon roars and the tiger roars. These two forces appeared together. Lin Xian used the dragon-tiger breathing technique again. A terrifying aura spread out. This time, he was extremely powerful. Boom! The purple flame saber was sent flying. The three-eyed fire demon ape kept retreating. Its huge body fell to the ground. Lin Xian soared into the sky and used the dragon-tiger phantom again. The dragon-tiger fusion seemed to have turned into a huge mountain, pressing down on the three-eyed fire demon ape. Go to hell! Lin Xian roared. At this moment, the power of the dragon-tiger breathing technique and the absolute sword formation were unleashed to the extreme. That aura of destruction suppressed everything. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the godlike figure. They were extremely shocked. This Lin Wuyi was really too strong. It was a tragedy to be born in the same era as him. Roar! The three-eyed fire demon ape roared crazily. Its purple flame saber had been hacked into the ground far away. Its arm was also broken. It could not fight back at all. However, it roared to the sky and let out an earth-shattering sound wave. The fire demon roar. The terrifying sound wave vibrated and swept out in all directions to fight against the dragon-tiger roar. The two collided again. The aura kept collapsing. Everyone saw the sky fall and the earth crack. They had sealed off their hearing and used the law to defend themselves. Crack! Crack! Lin Xian's body let out a dragon roar again. The dragon-tiger phantom exploded again. After shattering the tiger demon fist, he viciously punched downwards. Its target was the head of the opponent. Not good. Seeing this scene, countless people cried out in shock. They had never thought that such a thing would happen. They did not expect the three-eyed fire demon ape to be defeated. They were worried for the other party. This was something that they had never dreamed of. Great. Was he going to win? Morong Qingqing and Shen Jingqiu also revealed a faint smile. The dragon-tiger phantom was reflected in the three-eyed fire demon ape's eyes. In the next moment, its eyes turned red. The third eye between its brows shone with a strange light. Then, a purple lightning bolt flew out from its eye and split the sky. Crack! The shocking thunder made everyone's blood boil. Then Dragon-Tiger Mountain was split in half. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He quickly retreated and dodged. However, he was still affected by the aura. In an instant, the place where he was turned into nothingness. Brother Xian, Morong Qingcheng, and the rest exclaimed. The others were also stunned. What was going on? Was Lin Wuyi killed? What was that purple light just now? Someone took a deep breath. It was the third eye of the three-eyed fire demon ape. It was one of its unique skills. Once it was released, its power was extremely terrifying. Everyone was terrified. Did the third eye have such terrifying power? Chapter 4287. The earth trembled, and the huge figure on the ground stood up again. All the cracks on his body were healed, and his eyes shone with a strange light. His cold voice was like thunder as it spread in all directions. "How dare a mere ant go against me? You must be tired of living." The three-eyed fire demon ape sneered. In the distance, there was a flash of light. It was obvious that the battle here had attracted people from afar. When they arrived, their pupils shrank when they saw the scene. It was an elite from the demon race. They stopped in the air and were shocked. Who was the instructor? They looked around and realized that the people around them were talking about Lin Xian. Had Lin Xian already been killed? Some people were shocked, while others revealed hideous smiles. Great. This kid is finally dead. Brother Lin Xian. Shen Jingqiu's face changed. The cosmic form behind her rushed out and was about to rush into the sky. Morong Qingqing said, "Qiu'er, don't be nervous. Try to sense Brother Xian's aura. It hasn't weakened." Shen Jingqiu was stunned. She quickly used her soul to check. Then she heaved a sigh of relief. Indeed, she could sense Lin Xian's aura. It was still there, so she didn't act rashly. Whoosh! A few sword lights slashed the void. A figure walked out from the turbulent energy. His body was still stained with blood. It was obvious that he was injured. However, he didn't seem to be in a serious condition. "I didn't expect you to have a trump card that could split the illusion of Mount Longhu." Lin Xian looked serious. Indeed, that attack was combined with the breathing techniques of the dragon race and the tiger race. He was confident that he could destroy everything. However, he didn't expect his opponent to block it and even injure him. It seemed that his opponent's third eye contained the secrets of heaven and earth. He didn't die. The people in the distance exclaimed when they saw this. The three-eyed fire demon ape was also stunned. Its three eyes were filled with anger. "You're still alive. Well, I'll capture you and slowly torture you to death." The three-eyed fire demon ape bared its fangs. Its murderous aura was even more terrifying. It closed its eyes and opened the three eyes in between its eyebrows. The eyes were mysterious and were surrounded by strange runes. Soul destruction. A purple light shone and instantly appeared in front of Lin Xian. It enveloped Lin Xian. Heaven and earth around them. Everyone felt a huge pressure on their souls. Lin Xian also snorted coldly. Boundless power surged from his body. At the same time, a pair of golden eyes opened, like the eyes of a god. The golden flames burned fiercely and collided with the purple light. Then, both of them disappeared from the world, and how did he block that? The fire demon ape's face darkened. After all, it had already used some of its trump cards. However, it was still unable to do anything to Lin Xian. It was unbelievable. Let's see how long you can last. While using the soul destruction light, it charged toward Lin Xian. The dual attack of the body and soul was enough to destroy everything. Everyone was worried about Lin Xian again. Lin Xian roared. His heavenly secret god eyes scanned the surroundings. Between heaven and earth, there was a pair of divine eyes looking down and fighting against the soul destruction light. At the same time, he threw out a black spear. Boundless murderous aura surged toward Lin Xian. "Do you think I don't have a trump card?" The great spear of destruction was thrown out. It carried a monstrous demonic aura. Lin Xian's original flames were filled with demonic aura. He became extremely violent. It was as if he was a supreme demon king. Some people felt their scalps go numb when they saw it. Lin Xian had brought back a demonic divine artifact. It was unbelievable. This great spear of destruction was extremely powerful. They had analyzed it before. It was a super sacred artifact of the demonic race. It might even be at the level of a sage king. Now that it was in Lin Xian's hands, it could make Lin Xian's power stronger again. Sure enough, after Lin Xian used it, one strike pierced through heaven and earth. It had an aura that could destroy everything. The whole world shook violently. Poof! The three-eyed fire demon ape's huge body was instantly pierced through. Blood dripped down, dyeing the sky red. Ah! He roared at the sky and let out an angry roar. He was so angry that his voice pierced through gold and cracked stone. He didn't expect to be injured again. Damn it! Enduring the pain of the wound, he grabbed the great spear of destruction with his huge palm and wanted to snatch it away. This was a super powerful sacred artifact. He was extremely jealous. You're about to die, and you still want to snatch my treasure? You don't know what's good for you. Lin Xian sneered. Although his body wasn't as big as his opponent, his strength wasn't weak at all. He held it with both hands. With a roar, golden light bloomed all over his body. At this moment, he didn't hold back at all. The aura of the Nine Suns body was displayed to the world. The endless void under his feet collapsed. Lin Xian's hands were like dragons roaring in the sky. Waving the great spear of destruction, he lifted the huge body of the three-eyed fire demon king. Then he kept dancing and smashed it fiercely towards the big one. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The three-eyed fire demon king was smashed to the ground. The endless earth shattered, and the ground below turned into hell. As for the three-eyed fire demon king's body, it was also torn apart. A large crack appeared on its body, directly splitting it apart. This shocking scene stunned everyone. Countless people sucked in a breath of cold air in disbelief. This Lin Wudi was really heaven-defying. Kill! With one strike, he shattered the opponent's body. Lin Xian roared. With the great spear of destruction in his hand, he charged out again. The dragon and tiger phantoms surrounded him. The 10 ultimate sword formation floated and rushed inside with supreme power. He attacked the broken body again. Damn it! With a roar, the three-eyed fire demon king tried to recover his body. However, the sword chi of the 10 ultimate sword formation nailed his shattered body to death in the void. He couldn't escape in a short time. However, he was a late-stage Saint Venerate after all. Since he couldn't move his body, he used his soul to attack. The purple eyes contained an endless amount of soul power. Go to hell! It was another soul-extinguishing light. This time, it was much more powerful than the previous one. Lin Xian roared. His heavenly secret divine eyes completely erupted. His eyes emitted a dazzling golden light. It was like a golden ocean that swept down. Puff! Ah! The golden light blocked the purple soul extinguishing light. Then it counterattacked. The purple eyes were hit by the golden light. Then he closed his eyes. Blood flowed out. This time, not only was his body injured, but his soul was also severely injured. He roared at the sky. He was extremely furious. Damn it! In the distance, the people of the 1,000-demon city rushed over. They finally couldn't hold back and wanted to attack. However, Murong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu stood in the void. Let's see who dares to attack. The moment Shen Jingqiu's cosmic form appeared, terrifying laws covered the sky like an inescapable net. Murong Qingcheng waved her jade-like hand. A green light cut through the void like a long knife. Her cold voice rang out. Those who cross this line will be killed without mercy. Chapter 4288. The two of them attacked and were prepared to stop the people around them. The people from Demon City roared. Why would they be afraid of such a threat? Hence, they charged forward. In an instant, they charged forward. All sorts of demonic auras spread and shook the 9 heavens. However, not long after, they were shocked because they realized that although there were only 2 of them, they were too powerful. The cosmic form behind Shinjingqiu was like a real immortal king standing tall and upright. It blocked all the mystique attacks and blocked their way. On the other side, the Murong Qingsheng was even more terrifying. The 9 slashes of Kunlun and the Jade Lake holy water surged in all directions, making it impossible for them to win. Damn it. Seeing this, the 3-eyed fire demon ape roared crazily. This bunch of trash couldn't even break through one of them? It was infuriating. When Lin Xian saw this scene, the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. Why? Are you still hoping that someone will come and save you? Dream on. You'll definitely die today. Kid, don't be so smug. Can you really kill me? The 3-eyed fire demon ape snorted. Although he had lost, it wasn't that easy for Lin Xian to kill him. Lin Xian sneered. It was indeed more troublesome to kill him using ordinary means. However, the trump card in my hand is not something you can imagine. Next, I'll let you know what despair is. The demonic aura on his body surged and covered his entire body. Apart from his strong physique and superb sword skills, he had other mystiques. Previously, he had pretended to be the old ancestor of the heavenly demon tribe. Naturally, he had obtained the inheritance of the heavenly demon tribe. At this moment, he was using one of the mystiques, demonize the world. This mystique used demonic aura to refine powerful energy and could even dissolve a person directly. This was the mystique of the demon tribe and was extremely terrifying. Normally, Lin Xian wouldn't use this mystique. However, this time he didn't hold back at all against the 3-eyed fire demon ape. He formed a seal with his palms, and streaks of demonic aura surged out, forming a cage and trapping the 3-eyed fire demon ape. The demonic aura formed an altar again. A terrifying aura appeared, and a refined energy covered the 3-eyed fire demon ape. No, feeling this aura, the 3-eyed fire demon ape was completely terrified. Damn it, you can't do this. He knew that this kind of attack could threaten his life and could even destroy his soul. He roared fiercely, the power in his body exploding as he tried to break free. However, it was useless. His power was being crazily sucked away. The absorbed energy formed black crystals that resembled divine crystals. When the altar finally disappeared, the 3-eyed fire demon ape was already dead. On the ground, there were 8 black crystals that contained a terrifying amount of power. Lin Xian waved her hand and stored the 8 crystals. When the time came, he could provide the great dragon sword soul with the energy inside and use it as a trump card. He could even use the demonic aura to increase his strength. In short, it was a very good treasure. After obtaining it, the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile as he looked at the volcano in front of him. The surrounding people were all stupefied. Heavens! Wasn't a late-stage, holy venerable killed by the other party just like that? This method was too terrifying. Sage Wanyu, who was fighting with Murong Qingsheng, roared crazily when he saw this scene. Damn it! Lin Wudi, our 1,000-demon city, will not rest until you die. Boom, boom. Someone was sent flying. Murong Qingsheng and Shinjingqiu unleashed their power. These people could not resist at all. Run. The saints of 1,000-demon city roared crazily and retreated into the distance. Did the people of 1,000-demon city escape? These 2 fairies were very powerful. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He did not care about such threats. In the next moment, he turned his head and stared at the volcano in front of him. Then he roared, and a terrifying power surged out. The Taiji diagram rotated and turned into an eternal light that slashed towards the volcano. At this moment, Lin Xian was attacking the volcano with all his might. The volcano gradually cracked open, and a fiery red will flew out. A ball of red flame was emitted. Its powerful aura attracted everyone's attention. Many people's eyes turned red instantly. That was the will of a holy king. Attack! although they had seen the power of Lin Xian and the others before. So what? There were so many of them. They would have a chance to get it. Therefore, the people around them all rushed over. They were courting death. Morong Qingcheng snorted, and the Kunlun 9 slashes flew out. Shen Jingqiu used her cosmic form. The two of them fought on one side and blocked the people on the other side. So powerful. These people had seen the battle before and knew that the two of them were powerful. But now that they experienced it personally, they knew how terrifying the two of them were. And they realized that the two of them had been holding back. Now that they had unleashed their full power, it was really terrifying. One after another, the laws seemed capable of tearing them apart. Damn it, how could these two be so strong? They were both crazy. On the other side, people from other places charged towards Lin Xian. They felt that this was a good opportunity. Lin Xian snorted coldly. These people dared to attack him. Did they not know what was good for them? Looking at the two people charging towards him, his body swayed, and he dodged. Smiles appeared on the faces of the two men. Great, they grabbed at the flame wheel. The flame wheel erupted with a terrifying light and directly enveloped the two of them. In the next moment, the two of them roared crazily. Their bodies were directly melted, and the two souls fled into the distance. Did they want to leave? Lin Xian split the two souls with his sword. The remaining people did not dare to move forward in fear. For a moment, Lin Xian suppressed the group of people. Morong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu also blocked the other people. The three of them joined forces and blocked nearly 5 times the number of people. Their strength was simply heaven-defying. If you don't get lost, don't blame me for starting a massacre. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The power of the 10 ultimate sword formation erupted and directly pierced through heaven and earth. The surrounding space was sealed, forming a boundary. The other people quickly retreated. It was too terrifying. Without the top powerhouses and Sage King weapons, no one would be able to fight against the other party. They could only quickly retreat and contact the powerhouses in the sacred city. Damn it, the people of the Acheron Hall gritted their teeth. If it were not for their top powerhouses fighting the Tomb Keeper, they would have come over to kill this brat. Seeing that no one dared to come, Lin Xian snorted coldly and then turned to look at the flame wheel. He took a deep breath and began to attack the flame wheel. The 9 suns' divine fire turned into golden crows and began to seal the flame wheel. This was a difficult battle. The degree of danger was not inferior to that of Shan Yan and the demonic ape. Fortunately, the surrounding people did not dare to attack again. Therefore, there was no need to worry about the consequences. However, over 100,000 miles away, on a mountain peak, a figure appeared. His eyes were shining with a terrifying killing intent as he stared at Lin Xian in the distance. Chapter 4289. Lin Xian furrowed his brows when he sensed the cold, murderous intent. In the next moment, he turned around. He did not see the real body, only an afterimage. However, he was still shocked. That was because he was too familiar with that figure. Wan Jianyi, he was still alive. Previously, Wan Jianyi had fought against him, but he was defeated and left by Gu Feng. After that, he did not see Wan Jianyi again. But now, he saw the silhouette of that person again. It truly shocked him. With Wan Jianyi's character and terrifying strength, he would definitely be a disaster in the future if he was left alive. However, when he wanted to look for Wan Jianyi again, Wan Jianyi had already left. Wan Jianyi had disappeared without a trace. Lin Xian had to deal with the Sage King's will with all his strength, so he did not have the time to pay attention to Wan Jianyi. With his full strength, he sealed the Sage King's will. Lin Xian put it into the great void divine furnace and let out a sigh of relief. That's great. He had obtained one. This way, he had a quota. Next, he had to get one for Morong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu. This way, they would be qualified to enter the buried Emperor's Star. However, if possible, Lin Xian wanted to collect a few more. Because this thing was left behind by the Sage King, it was extremely useful for comprehending the Great Tao. When the people in the distance saw Lin Xian put away the flame intent, they were shocked. Their eyes turned red, and their faces were filled with envy. This guy had obtained the Sage King's will. Murong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu smiled. The three of them turned into flowing lights and disappeared. After the three of them left, the news quickly spread. Many people in the holy city knew about it. Lin Xian had obtained the Sage King's will. Some people sighed. As expected of Lin Wudi, he was really strong. It seemed that he was the first to obtain it. However, some people's faces were gloomy, and they gritted their teeth. Damn it, it was this kid again. These people were going crazy. They must find him and kill him to snatch the Sage King's will. The terrifying primordial battlefield was filled with an icy aura. However, a few streaks of light streaked across the blood-colored sky. Among them were people from the Primordial Grotto and Akron Hall. Their faces were extremely cold. These people were the two who had attacked the Gravekeeper earlier. They had thought that they would be able to kill the Gravekeeper with their weapons. But who would have thought that the old man guarding the tomb would be way too frightening? This was especially the case for the countless tombs of powerful beings around him. Eventually, they all burst forth with a terrifying aura. He had almost killed them. Fortunately, they had brought along Saint King weapons, so they were able to escape. Otherwise, they would really be in danger. Damn it, that old bastard. I have to get rid of him if I have the chance. On the Akron Hall's side, a sacred venerate called Ziming had an ugly expression. The leader of the Immemorial Grotto team was someone called Lan Tiendo. He gritted his teeth and said, "Don't worry, there will be a chance." As they spoke, they quickly flew into the distance. On the other side, the tombkeeper returned to the place where Lin Xian and the others were trapped. His expression was cold. For so many years, no one had dared to be disrespectful to him. Now, these brats were actually so bold. His expression was cold. In the next moment, he took out the magistrate pen and scanned his surroundings. At the same time, he let out an ancient voice as if he was giving an order. The tombs around him all cracked open, and one figure after another walked out of the tombs. They were abnormally ferocious. They all respectfully waited for the tombkeeper. However, the tombkeeper frowned because he realized that there was no movement at all from an inconspicuous small mound in the distance. What was going on? He waved the magistrate pen again and even took out a Yama's gong and knocked on it. However, the small mound still did not move. In the next moment, the old man waved his hand and directly crushed the mound. He frowned because he realized that there was nothing inside. Damn it, that guy actually ran away again. When I find you, I'll tear you into pieces. He snorted coldly, then formed a seal with his palm. The black figures that walked out of the tomb all spread out in all directions. The tombkeeper's lips curled into a sneer. Geniuses from all over the universe? I'll let you collect the sage ruler's will for me. Lin Xian and the others were still searching, but they also realized that many people were looking for them. It seemed that those people wanted to snatch the sage ruler's will from them. Lin Xian's expression was cold. It seemed that these guys really did not give up. As long as they dared to come, he would let them know what despair was. The three of them continued on their way. Lin Xian used his ocular technique and continued to search. A few days later, he was stunned. He discovered that on the ground in front of him, another huge creature had appeared. It was a city, the Antiquity City. At this moment, it was already in ruins. Many places had collapsed, forming cracks and abysses. However, this huge city was really too big. The remaining space was as far as the eye could see. As for Lin Xian, he felt a strange fluctuation from the city. He knew that there was definitely a Sage King's will inside. In addition to Lin Xian and the others, there were also people from all over. There were even people from inside the Antiquity City. It was obvious that the Antiquity City had attracted everyone's attention. They entered the Antiquity City. Lin Xian and the others felt a sense of desolation. Countless years ago, this must have been a prosperous place. It could even be a martial Holy Land. However, after a great battle between sage rulers, this place was completely ruined. After Lin Xian came down, he could see the broken array on the ground. Obviously, it was destroyed in the battle back then. However, Lin Xian carefully searched and found that although some array formations were broken, they could still be used. It was just that after countless years, no one could activate them. As for the others, they exclaimed. They looked into the distance. There was a pagoda standing there, emitting a desolate aura. The pagoda was still in good condition, and there were countless runes around it that intertwined to form a barrier, isolating everything. Everyone walked in the direction of the pagoda. They saw that on the plaque above the pagoda, there were even a few words written in flamboyant calligraphy. Universe Pagoda. Many people gasped. How much courage and strength did one have to be to dare to use the name of the universe? Obviously, this pagoda was extremely extraordinary. There might be unknown treasures inside. This was the primordial battlefield. Those who participated in the battle back then were definitely sage rulers. There might even be stronger existences. If they could get one of the things left behind by those people, it would be a great opportunity for them. So, thinking of this, their eyes became fiery red again. Chapter 4290. Sounds of discussion could be heard all around. Among them, a figure appeared. She stood on the street and lifted her head to look ahead. Her appearance made the surrounding people retract their gazes and look at her. She was from the joyous Union Palace. She was indeed a fairy. It was said that people from the joyous Union Palace were the most suitable partners. Laughter could be heard, and there were even some experts who frowned. They could sense a peculiar aura from the other party. Could it be the Sage Monarch's will? Did this person obtain the Sage Monarch's will? Yushurchia's face also turned pale. To be honest, she had indeed obtained the Sage Monarch's will. However, she had been separated from the people from the joyous Union Palace and had come here alone, facing so many cold gazes. She was extremely nervous. Although she was also a genius, she really could not fight against so many people here. In such a dangerous situation, she did not think of her fellow sect members. Instead, she thought of Lin Xian. If that guy was here, he should be able to protect her. Then she shook her head. That kid had already made countless enemies. Would he provoke so many people for her? Even if she had already submitted to him, he did not take her seriously at all. Do you have the Sage Monarch's will on you? If you do, hand it over, and I'll let you live. At that moment, someone said coldly. It was an old man whose aura was abnormally powerful. On the other side, a middle-aged woman also walked out and said, "Take it. I'll guarantee your safety." The others also exclaimed. They did not expect the palace guard to have such a treasure. Yushurchia sighed. It seemed that she had obtained the Sage Monarch's will by chance. She could no longer keep it. In that case, she could only save her life. At that moment, another young man walked over and said coldly, "Leave it to me. I'll take you to meteoric success." Yushurchia had already made up her mind. She looked around with a smile. At that moment, her body was emitting a strange aura. This was the special illusion of the joyous Union Palace. She smiled. "I know you all want the Sage Monarch's will. Fine, I can give it to you, because I can't beat you. However, I only have one Sage Monarch's will. You have so many experts. Who should I give it to?" As soon as she said that, the surrounding people gasped. Then they forgot about the three masters. Was this woman trying to sow discord? She was really meticulous. This way, if a fight really broke out, the other party would have a chance to escape. The middle-aged woman also sneered. You're so young, yet you're so scheming. However, this isn't something you need to consider. You only need to hand over the Sage King's will. As for who obtains it in the end, it has nothing to do with you. Was there no chance left? Yushurtia sighed when she saw that the three experts were unmoved. It seemed that her last bit of hope had disappeared. Since that was the case, then forget it. She smiled bitterly and said, All right, I hope you can spare my life. As she spoke, she waved her hand and took out a treasure bottle. Inside the bottle, there was a blue glow flickering. That was the will of water. It was abnormally terrifying and attracted countless gazes as soon as it appeared. Yushurtia used this opportunity to quickly retreat. She pushed him far away, but she didn't leave. At this moment, the Sage Kings will become the only thing in the world. In front of him, the eyes of the three great experts were also blooming with terrifying light. Moreover, the three great experts in front of him didn't act rashly. Although they desperately wanted to obtain the item, no one dared to make the first move. Because if the first person made a move, the other two would probably immediately join hands. The other two also had the same thought. Therefore, the atmosphere became somewhat tense for a moment. The surrounding people also had grave expressions, but no one was interested. This scene was incomparably strange. However, at this moment, the void broke open, and a large golden hand directly grabbed down, enveloping the will of water. Terrifying power illuminated the surroundings. The surrounding people were stunned. The three great experts' pupils constricted. In the next moment, they were furious. Courting death, the item that the three of them didn't dare to rashly snatch had actually been snatched away by someone else. Who was it? No matter who it was, they would all destroy the other party's soul. The three of them roared and unleashed terrifying divine abilities at the golden hand. The void exploded in an instant. However, the speed of the golden palm was much faster than everyone had imagined. It turned into a golden bolt of lightning and instantly disappeared. Want to leave? The sacred domain of the three erupted, sweeping through the 9 heavens and 10 lands, completely enveloping the entire world. Want to run? Do you think I'll run? How laughable! In the sky, a cold voice came. Then, a figure like a god of war descended. The surrounding people all raised their heads and looked over. The three great experts did the same. In the next moment, their pupils constricted. Lin Woody, it's you. They were really shocked. They didn't expect it to be this kid. In the distance, Yushurtia was also stunned. Was it him? She had hoped that he would appear to save her. She didn't expect that he would really appear now. However, when she saw the two beautiful figures beside Lin Xian, a trace of sadness appeared in her eyes. The person who came was indeed Lin Xian. Not only him, but Morong Qingqing and Shen Jingqiu also came. The appearance of the three attracted the attention of everyone. The three great experts in front of them. The old man narrowed his eyes. I see who it is. So it's you, kid. What, you think you can be arrogant in front of us just because you got a good ranking in the second round? The middle-aged woman also sneered. Kneel down now, and obediently hand over the will of the sacred king, and I can give you a chance to live. The three of you bullied others and snatched the will of the sacred king from others. Do you have any shame? You are all reputable figures. Don't you think it's too shameless for you to join forces now? Lin Xian sneered. In the face of the three great experts, he was not afraid. Kid, it seems that you really don't know what's good for you. Do you want to snatch the treasure from us? A cold, killing intent appeared in the old man's eyes. The old man was from Giant Spirit Pavilion, the woman was an expert from Guiyuan Hall, and the young man was from 7-Star Tower. Among them, the middle-aged woman also arrived. You have already provoked Akron Hall, Demon City, and other holy cities. Now, you still want to be enemies with us? If that's the case, I'm afraid not only will you die, but your Wushuang city will be consigned to eternal damnation. What? Are you threatening me? Humph, Lin Xian sneered. Then he threw the will of water out and threw it to Yu Shijie. Then he said, since you got it, you can keep it. Remember, when you get a treasure, don't give it to others so easily. This scene caused everyone to be stunned. My heavens, what did Lin Xian do? He'd actually handed over the Holy King's will to Yu Shijie. Could it be that the two of them knew each other? Everyone was shocked. It turned out that Lin Xian didn't want to snatch the treasure for himself, but to stand up for Yu Shijie. Chapter 4291. The three experts' pupils shrank. Was this kid trying to slap them in the face? Their expressions became incomparably cold. Yu Shijie was also stunned. She looked at the sage monarch will in front of her in disbelief. Had he returned it to her? One had to know that this was the sage monarch will. With it, she could increase her strength and obtain the opportunity to go to the buried emperor's star. Had he given it to her just like that? Yu Shijie didn't know why, but she wanted to cry. Kid, it seems like you want to stand out. Your appetite is too big. You already have two fairies by your side, but you're still thinking about others. The middle-aged woman sneered. The youth from the Seven-Star Pavilion also had a cold expression. I advise you to obediently surrender. Otherwise, I'll send all of you to hell. Oh, is that so? Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the person from the Seven-Star Pavilion. The corners of his mouth rose into a cold smile. With just you? You dare to look down on me? The Seven-Star Pavilion's Xiaobai was instantly enraged. Lin Xian's eyes revealed a domineering look. I still have the sage monarch will in my hand. If you have the strength, just snatch it. If you can defeat me, this sage monarch will is yours. Hearing this, countless people gasped. This Lin Wuti was too arrogant. Sure enough, a trace of cold killing intent appeared in Xiaobai's eyes. No one had ever dared to look down on him like this. Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. An extremely terrifying aura emerged from Xiaobai's body. It had to be said that he was very powerful. He was an unparalleled existence among mid-stage holy venerables. He was much stronger than Wan Jianyi and the others. Buzz. Xiaobai's figure swayed. Terrifying stars flickered under his feet. With a step, he arrived in front of Lin Xian. Then he slapped his palm toward Lin Xian. The stars on it formed a pattern that enveloped Lin Xian. At the same time, his other hand attacked Yu Shijie. The starlight in the sky fell, forming a large net. Not only did he want to kill Lin Xian and steal Lin Xian's Saint King will, but he also wanted Yu Shijie's will of water. He also wanted to take it away. He had to admit that he was really greedy. Lin Xian sneered. You want to attack me at the same time? Aren't you afraid of bursting? After he finished speaking, his fist glowed with light as he swung it forward, colliding with the starry sky pattern. The sound of the sky collapsing and the earth cracking could be heard. The starry sky pattern was directly broken, and the opponent's palm was beaten back. Xiaobai's body also began to tremble, a look of shock appearing in his eyes. On the other hand, Lin Xian shook his head. You're so weak that it's pitiful. Even someone like you dares to attack me. I really don't know where your courage comes from. The surrounding people were all stunned. No way. Lin Wuti was already so strong. Xiaobai's pupils shrank as well. How could this be? Although the other party was strong in the second stage, he was still an ant-like existence in his eyes. Was his opponent able to block his attack? Thinking of this, he became angry, and his palm turned into a single finger again. Finger of stars. With a point of his finger, the stars were destroyed. This was a powerful ultimate technique of the Seven-Star Tower. He did not believe that the other party could block it. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. The golden hand slapped over fiercely. The flames on it were monstrous, as if it was burning everything. In an instant, it enveloped the finger of stars. The other party's palm made cracking sounds. As it was directly broken, blood flowed out. This was not over. The golden hand did not stop at all. It slapped toward Xiao Bai's face. Boom. This attack slapped Xiao Bai's face. That handsome face instantly deformed as countless cracks appeared on it. His body was also sent flying backward like a kite. Boom. Xiao Bai vomited blood and flew backward, overturning a mountain peak in the distance. The endless morning fog filled the air. The surrounding people were stunned. Their eyes almost fell out of their sockets. Heavens! What did they see? The incomparably powerful Xiao Bai was actually sent flying by Lin Xian's slap. This was too powerful. In the distance, Yu Shijie was also dumbfounded. Although she was touched by Lin Xian's actions, she also knew that Lin Xian had made too many enemies, so she thought that it would be better to take out this Sage King's will. At least she would not make any more enemies. But who would have thought that Lin Xian was actually so powerful? He sent his opponent flying with a slap. This stunned her on the spot. The other two experts also frowned. A hint of seriousness appeared in their eyes. To be honest, they had never taken the other party seriously before. But now, the strength that the other party displayed greatly shocked them. It seemed that the other party's casual attack was already so terrifying. This kid's strength had actually increased so quickly. They carefully investigated. And then their pupils shrank. The other party was already a mid-stage, wholly venerable. If they remembered correctly, the other party was only a peak small saint in the second stage. Now, he had broken through 2 major realms in such a short time. What had the other party experienced? Boom. The mountain range in the distance split open. A figure flew out. It was Xiao Bai. At this moment, his expression was incomparably ugly. Although his injuries had recovered, he was still furious. After being slapped in the face in public, how could he still have a face to appear in front of others in the future? Although he was angry, he did not immediately attack, because the strength that the other party had displayed just now had really shocked him. Lin Xian looked at him and said indifferently, "Yes, I have indeed offended many holy cities, but whether it is the Acheron Hall, the Myriad Sword Pavilion, or the Great Desolate Mansion, I will not let them off. The experts of these holy cities have also died at my hands. Do you want to follow in their footsteps?" Xiao Bai was covered in cold sweat. He knew that the person in front of him was a demon king. If he really angered the other party would not care about their identity or background. He would kill them all. So, for a moment, he stood there in a daze. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he once again looked towards the old man and the middle-aged woman before he coldly asked, "What about the 2 of you? Are you still going to go against me?" The 2 of them took a deep breath. Stars flickered in their eyes. In the next moment, they made a decision. The middle-aged woman laughed. "Lin Gongzi lived up to his reputation. We were just joking with you." "That's right. I just wanted to see your skills." "How could I be your enemy?" These 2 experts did not have any killing intent at all. In fact, they even had a hint of flattery. The surrounding people went crazy. Were these still the 3 great experts? Previously, these 3 people were high and mighty, looking down on everything. However, in front of Lin Xian, they did not have any temper at all. They had originally thought that there would be a fierce battle, but who would have thought that Lin Xian's strength would suppress everything? In the distance, Yu Shijie was also stunned. Was this her master? He was already so powerful. Originally, he had thought that if his strength increased, he might be able to break free from the other party's control. But now, it seemed that it would be difficult for him to do so in this lifetime. Seeing that the 3 of them did not dare to attack again, Lin Xian retracted his gaze and turned to look at Yu Shijie. Then he said, "Take that will." It is very compatible with your bloodline. Chapter 4292. Thank you, young master. Yu Shijie was extremely grateful. Lin Xian did not say anything. After all, Yu Shijie was also one of his people. However, he was very surprised. He did not expect that the other party would be able to obtain the Sage King's will. It seemed that the other party's fortuitous encounter was not small. Lin Xian's gaze shifted away from the other party, and then towards the pagoda in front of them. He said, "Since we've met, then follow me to see what's inside the pagoda." Around the pagoda, there were even more powerhouses. The arrival of Lin Xian and the others naturally attracted the attention of countless people. Many gazes flew towards them. In fact, some of them even had monstrous killing intent. Lin Xian snorted coldly, his body emitting a powerful aura. Murong Qingcheng and the others did the same. They used terrifying laws to counterattack. The sound of the array formation rang out. Everyone was surprised. Although this team had few people, their strength was powerful. Therefore, everyone retracted their gazes and looked at the pagoda again. Let's see how to enter the pagoda first. Outside the pagoda, there was an array formation protecting it. If they wanted to enter, they had to first crack the array formation. Someone could not help but make a move and rushed forward. That person's body emitted an incomparable light. It was obvious that he was an expert. His body emitted a terrifying Dao light as he charged directly towards the array formation. The array formation seemed to have been activated, releasing an incomparable aura. Bolts of lightning spread out in all directions. A sea of lightning rose and enveloped the entire space. Countless cracks appeared, carrying a power that could destroy everything. The surrounding people felt this power, and their expressions changed. Was it a lightning array formation? The person who attacked the array formation previously was also blasted back by the lightning and spat out large mouthfuls of blood. This scene caused everyone to be even more shocked. Lin Xian's eyes also flickered. Clearly, he could see that this was an extremely terrifying lightning array formation. Murong Qingcheng said with a frown, "This was not an ordinary array formation. It looked similar to a lightning tribulation. Lightning tribulation was a very dangerous thing for anyone because the slightest carelessness could lead to death. Therefore, when they encountered similar lightning again, these people were on guard. After the initial shock, the surrounding people all stopped what they were doing. Soon, they discussed again, and then rushed in. Although the lightning was scary, they were determined to get it. Then let's go." Lin Xian took a deep breath. Radiance blossomed from his body. He brought Murong Qingsheng and the other two and flew forward. When they entered the sea of lightning, terrifying lightning bolts shot towards them. It caused the space around them to shatter continuously. They felt an extremely terrifying aura of destruction. It was as if it wanted to tear them apart. "Ah!" Someone roared in front of him. "Damn it! Don't use your laws. You'll attract even more powerful lightning tribulations." As soon as these words were spoken, the people in the surroundings exclaimed in surprise. Sure enough, they noticed this as well, so they all withdrew their laws. However, without the laws, it was much more difficult for saints to withstand the lightning. They could only rely on their physique and sacred artifacts. Lin Xian appeared to be much more relaxed. Even if he did not use the laws, just his 9-yang divine body was incomparably powerful. For example, Murong Qingcheng and the others took out their sacred artifacts to resist. In fact, Lin Xian even formed a seal, forming an illusion of 9 suns that directly enveloped Murong Qingcheng and the other two. The 3 of them also heaved a sigh of relief. With such a powerful defense, they were not worried anymore. However, Lin Xian's eyes emitted a golden light as he looked in all directions. who knew what kind of changes would occur in such a terrifying array formation. Not long after, he took a deep breath because he had noticed some changes. He discovered that some lightning bolts had suddenly emerged in the depths of the sea of lightning. The lightning bolts were extremely terrifying, as if they had turned into the shape of swords. They carried a violent aura. Lin Xian was extremely shocked. Sword-shaped lightning? This was an extremely terrifying existence among the lightning bolts. Once they encountered it, they would be extremely powerful. Even Lin Xian did not dare to be careless in the face of such lightning bolts. The others also gradually discovered it because these sword-shaped lightning bolts were like flying arrows, flying over and swaying in the surroundings. Morong Qingcheng took a deep breath, and a hint of caution appeared in her beautiful eyes. She could clearly feel the powerful energy coming from above. The others also cried out in alarm. Some of them even made a move. Immediately, the sword-shaped lightning exploded. The front was engulfed by the lightning, and many people vomited blood as they were sent flying. In an instant, countless cries of alarm rang out. Lin Xian's expression was also grave. What should he do? Yu Shiche frowned and asked. She was of the water element and was very restrained by the lightning bolts. Leave these lightning bolts to me. Others might be afraid, but Lin Xian was indeed incomparably happy. This was the best power to temper his body. Lin Xian's 9 yang divine body needed to be tempered thousands of times. Now that he had encountered these lightning bolts, how could he miss them? With a wave of his hand, countless laws flew out in all directions, immediately triggering the sword-shaped lightning bolts. Endless lightning exploded and enveloped him, causing countless people to turn their heads. In the next moment, they cried out in alarm. No way. Was there someone so stupid? Humph, he's dead. A cold laugh rang out. However, in the sea of lightning, Lin Xian's 9 yang divine body bloomed with incomparable light. Strange patterns appeared on it one after another, as if it had turned into a golden vortex, and it began to absorb the power of the lightning. Gradually, the surrounding lightning disappeared, and Lin Xian's figure appeared. Above his body, there were still arcs of electricity flashing, making rumbling sounds. It was really terrifying. Lin Xian was shocked. Although the process seemed simple, the pain during the process was no less than the lightning tribulation. If it weren't for his strong will, he wouldn't have been able to endure it. When the surrounding people saw another person walk out of the sea of lightning, they immediately cried out in alarm. No way. That guy actually blocked it. It's that kid. Damn it. How is his body so strong? The surrounding experts cried out in alarm, and deep shock appeared in their eyes. Those who could come here were all geniuses among geniuses, but even they didn't dare to resist the sword lightning, not to mention attracting so much lightning. However, Lin Xian dared to do it, and he was unharmed. He even used the lightning to temper his body. It was really enviable. Next, Lin Xian used this method to open up a path. He stood in front of the group and attracted all the sword lightning in the surroundings to him. He continued to temper and absorb it. Behind him, Morong Qingcheng and the other two passed through safely. Gradually, Lin Xian came to the depths of the sea of lightning. His speed had also slowed down. After all, after absorbing so many thunderbolts, his body was also under great pressure. In the end, he couldn't absorb any more. Lin Xian exhaled. His exhalation was filled with terrifying lightning. He didn't know when he would reach the end. Shun Jingqiu frowned slightly. They walked for a distance, and then Lin Xian stopped. There seemed to be a situation. Shun Jingqiu frowned again, and her cosmic form appeared behind her. Chapter 4293. Lin Xian gave a signal to the hillmen to pay attention. At the same time, The golden light in his eyes shone again as he looked into the depths of the sea of lightning. In the next moment, he was stunned. He gasped and even took a step back. That was because he saw that in the depths of the sea of lightning, endless lightning intertwined and formed a human-shaped lightning. The human-shaped lightning was also formed by lightning, but its power was even more terrifying than the lightning formed by swords. Generally speaking, human-shaped lightning was very rare. It would only appear in the heavenly punishment. Who would have thought that a human-shaped lightning would appear here? Morong Chingcheng and the others gasped when they heard about it. Their nerves became extremely tense. What should we do? Shen Jingqiu asked. That things seemed to be targeting them. Indeed, the human-shaped lightning in front of them was staring at them like lightning. It made their scalps tingle. Even Lin, Xian's 9-yang divine body, could not convert such a powerful lightning into energy and absorb it. So he could only think of another way. Lin Xian said, "Let me do it." He walked out and took out a devouring treasure bottle. It was given to him by unparalleled Sage King. Previously, it could absorb the power of the sacred hall and devour it. Who knows whether or not he could store the lightning of this person in it. In the next moment, Lin Xian activated the devouring treasure bottle and flew forward. The devouring treasure bottle shot out a devouring light. A black hole kept spinning and shrouded the human-shaped lightning. It wanted to devour it. The human-shaped lightning took a step forward. Unparalleled lightning exploded from its body, causing the surrounding space to crack. The terrifying destructive aura made everyone's scalps tingle. Even Lin Xian's face changed. Not good. The aura was too strong. To be honest, he was not confident. If unparalleled Sage King was here, he would definitely have a way to deal with the human-shaped lightning. But now, there was only the devouring treasure bottle. No one would know. Fortunately, the human-shaped lightning had only just formed. Thus, it was still swallowed by the treasure-devouring bottle in the end. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief and sealed the devouring treasure bottle. Did he succeed? Yu Shiqi's face paled. Morong Qingcheng was indeed a little happy. This was great. If he encountered those powerful enemies in the future, he could directly release the humanoid lightning. Indeed, Lin Xian also nodded. He also had the same idea. After all, the enemy he was facing now was too powerful. Many of them were late-stage holy venerables, and some even had holy king weapons. Now that he had the humanoid lightning, it could be considered as another trump card. In the future, if he really encountered a difficult opponent, he could release the humanoid lightning. Let's go. They continued their journey. Without the threat of the human-shaped lightning, their speed increased again. However, after half a day, they stopped again. Lin Xian was shocked. As he spoke, he quickly stopped and retracted all of his aura. After that, Morong Qingcheng and the others were stunned. They didn't understand what was going on. However, he still completely concealed his aura. Lin Xian was the same. It was as if they didn't exist. His eyes, however, blossomed with extremely terrifying golden runes as he looked into the distance. In the distance, there was a figure in the sea of lightning. The aura he emitted was abnormally special. Morong Qingcheng and the others also saw that figure. They were immediately shocked. Who was that figure? She was too surprised because she found that his aura was completely different from that of the other people in the holy city. Who exactly was that person? Was there anyone else here other than them? Lin Xian's brows were tightly knitted together. He felt a sense of danger. So he said, "Let's go." The few of them quietly retreated. However, at this moment, the mysterious silhouette in front suddenly turned around. A frightening ray of light shot toward them. Who was that? With a low shout, the surrounding lightning was continuously destroyed. At the same time, Lin Xian felt a powerful gaze piercing through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. He sighed. This was not good. This person was too powerful. With their current cultivation, there was no way they could hide at all. Thinking of that, he took out the void beast's skin and covered the few of them. Then he used his spatial magic and quickly left. In front of them, the mysterious figure did not discover anyone, but his brows were tightly furrowed. A low voice was heard. The laws of space. Humph! He snorted coldly, and then his figure gradually disappeared. At the same time, on the other side of the lightning, Lin Xian and the others were hiding in the void. They were extremely nervous. After waiting for a while, they realized that no one was chasing after them. This made them sigh in relief. It was too dangerous. They did not expect that this ancient battlefield would be so terrifying. There was actually such a person. Lin Xian felt that the other party's aura was no weaker than that of a holy ruler. Could it be that there was really a holy ruler here? Who exactly was that person? Shen Jingqiu was also puzzled. Lin Xian shook his head. Forget it. Let's not bother about him. It's best not to meet that person again. That person is very dangerous. Let's go. It seems that we are very close to the pagoda. The few of them nodded and continued on their way. They continued to fly toward the pagoda. Finally, they saw a black figure standing in front of them. It was the pagoda. The few of them smiled. Lin Xian realized that they were not the only ones who had come. There were many figures around them, and these people's auras were abnormally powerful. Obviously, these people had their own trump cards, which was why they could come here. Of course, in the process, some people must have died in the Sea of Lightning. The appearance of Lin Xian and the others attracted the attention of others. Everyone turned their heads again. At the same time, another person came out from behind. This place was becoming more and more lively. Those people snorted coldly and ignored Lin Xian. Instead, they continued to look at the pagoda in front of them. A hint of passion appeared in their eyes. And at the entrance of the pagoda, there were already a few figures standing there. These people's auras were even more powerful. Among them were the Primordial Grotto, the people from Thunder God City, and the Kunlun Pavilion. The Primordial Grotto, they turned their heads and stared at Lin Xian, their eyes erupting with biting, cold, killing intent. However, the people from the Kunlun Pavilion were delighted. They saw the Morong Qingcheng. Is that kid going to make a move? The faces of the people from the Primordial Grotto became incomparably cold. Ignore that guy. I've already entered the pagoda myself. Anyway, that kid can't escape from this ancient battlefield. It won't be too late to kill him after we obtain the treasure. The few of them discussed and decided to make a move on the pagoda first. Lin Xian and the others met up with the people from the Kunlun Pavilion. The few of them heaved a sigh of relief. With the powerful existence of the Kunlun Pavilion here, they did not have to worry about being ambushed for the time being. How is this place? Morong Qingcheng asked. An old man from the Kunlun Pavilion said, although we're here, there's clearly a seal at the entrance of the pagoda. I'm afraid we have to break it before we can enter. Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret ability to observe. He discovered that there was indeed a mysterious force at the entrance of the pagoda. At the same time, his pupils constricted. Chapter 4294. Lin Xian sensed that there was still a force around him, which made him shocked. The others couldn't sense it, but Lin Xian's Tianji child prodigy could clearly sense that the danger was getting closer and closer. Lin Xian's face was pale. He said, "Not good. I think we should retreat first." Retreat? The people of Kunlun Pavilion were stunned. What was going on? Some of them had a look of disdain in their eyes. Was this the legendary Lin Wudi? Why was he so timid? The saintess of Kunlun Pavilion was with such a person? Those who had such thoughts were all the young geniuses of Kunlun. After all, they also hoped to win the attention of Morong Qingcheng. So, at this moment, They all looked at Lin Xian with disdain. The experts of Kunlun Pavilion also frowned. A middle-aged man asked, "What did Lin Gongzi discover?" "There's a dangerous aura approaching. I think we should leave this place first." Dangerous aura? A few of them were stunned. There were even late-stage Saint Venerables among them. They carefully sensed, and then said, "We didn't find anything." Murong Qingcheng said, "We believe in Brother Xian. Let's leave this place first." All right, those experts nodded. Since even the saintess had said so, they would first retreat to a certain distance. Some of the young geniuses were very unhappy. "Humph, I want to see if there's any danger. How could this kid continue to pretend?" These people quickly retreated. It seemed like they wanted to leave the pagoda. This scene caused the surrounding people to be shocked. The people of Immemorial Grotto turned their heads and revealed a look of confusion. What was going on? One of them sneered. "They must be afraid of us attacking them. How could these trash be our match?" Their eyes were filled with disdain. However, at this moment, the void split open. An extremely terrifying aura surged out and rushed in all directions. Then, a terrifying black shadow appeared and slammed down. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The people of Immemorial Grotto and Thunder God City were directly sent flying. They vomited large mouthfuls of blood. What was going on? The surrounding people were so frightened that their scalps went numb. They felt the terrifying aura, and their expressions became extremely ugly. In fact, they even saw two late-stage, holy exalted experts being sent flying. The people of the Kunlun Pavilion were also stunned. Soon, they broke out in cold sweat. If they hadn't retreated back then, perhaps they would be the ones vomiting blood right now. When they thought of this, their faces were filled with shock. Those older generation figures took a deep breath and said, "Many thanks to Lin Gongzi for the reminder." The young sky prides of the Kunlun Pavilion also turned pale. Previously, they had mocked Lin Xian for being a coward. Who would have thought that Lin Xian had really detected the danger? But they didn't know anything. What right did they have to laugh at such a person? For a moment, those people put away their contempt. Lin Xian shook his head. His frown deepened. The reason for that was because the energy fluctuation coming from the front was simply too terrifying. Everyone looked up. In the next moment, they saw a bone claw appear in the void. It was a white bone claw that floated there. It was abnormally terrifying. However, there was only one palm and nothing else. This caused everyone to be stunned. Could a palm easily injure a late-stage, holy exalted? Then, whose palm was this? Was it left behind by a saint king? Everyone was bewildered. They carefully examined it and found that the palm's aura was very strong. However, the surface was already in tatters. It was clear that after countless years, it was no longer the same as it used to be. This made everyone heave a sigh of relief. If it was a complete palm, none of them would be able to block it. But now, it was covered in cracks. They might be able to resist it. Damn it! The people of the Immemorial Grotto flew over from afar. Their expressions were ugly, and there was blood on their bodies. Among them, a few experts stared at the white bone palm. Their eyes shone with a piercing cold light. "It's just a guardian palm. How dare it injure us?" The experts of Thunder God City also flew over and gritted their teeth. If it wasn't for it being too sudden, how could they have been injured? These people's eyes were cold. Then someone said, "Let's go. Let's break this guardian palm together and enter the pagoda." It's actually a guardian palm? Shen Jingqiu was also shocked. Then she said, "Big Brother Xian, I've heard some legends about this guardian palm. It's a treasure refined by a powerful existence after its death. It's used to protect. Guardian palms usually have a guardian light on them. If Fang Yu could absorb it, he would become even stronger. Although this guardian palm is already shattered, there should still be a guardian light on it. If you are able to do so, your 9 yang divine body and physique might be able to become stronger again. Hearing this, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Really? That's great. If that was the case, then he had to fight for it. Thinking of this, a piercing cold light appeared in his eyes. However, when he saw the countless experts around him, he said, "There's no rush. Let's wait and see." Indeed, there were many people here. Furthermore, those who could come were all peak experts. Many of them were late-stage experts and had many trump cards. These people quickly made their moves. Lei Shencheng and the people from the immemorial grotto quickly made their moves. Terrifying laws and mystiques surged forward. These people had joined forces at this moment. Clearly, they wanted to break through the protective palm and enter the pagoda. Buzz. The sound of the ground shaking could be heard. The guardian palm released light and swept out. The multicolored light on it was too terrifying. With one strike, it split the world. Boom, boom, boom. The guardian palm clashed with the surrounding magic skills and laws. Terrifying sounds of thunder rang out. Clumps of energy spread out in all directions. Many people retreated. Lin Xian looked forward. His eyes shone with incomparable light. He was prepared to make his move at any moment. This was because he knew that although the guardian palm was strong, it would not be able to last long under the attacks of so many experts. Indeed, the ones leading the charge were late-stage holy venerates. They had rich battle experience. Every time they attacked the shattered parts of the guardian palm. This caused the cracks on the guardian palm to become even more terrifying. However, these people were secretly on guard against each other. They were afraid of being sneak attacked. Thus, they did not use their full strength. Even so, it did not take long for the cracks on the guardian palm to become extremely terrifying. Then, with a kacha sound, a crack appeared. That palm was torn to pieces, about to shatter. Chapter 4295. Seeing this scene, the late-stage Saint Venerables were the same. Their eyes shone with a cold light. They could naturally feel the extremely strong power in it. They had to get that power. At the same time, Lin Xian's eyes also shone with an incomparable light. He was also about to make a move to snatch the guardian light. Buzz. This time, he directly used the void escape to appear in front of Yi Fuqian in an instant. Then, he grabbed the guardian light with his palm. This sudden turn of events caused everyone to be stunned. No one dared to believe that someone dared to snatch food from the tiger's mouth in front of this group of experts. Was he tired of living? The eyes of the experts also shone with a cold light. Their gazes pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. "It's you reckless thing. We wanted to let you go, but you dared to snatch what we wanted." The eyes of the old man from the immemorial grotto burst with cold-killing intent. The faces of the others also sank. Facing so many threats and encirclement, Lin Xian was not afraid. Countless runes appeared on his palm to seal it. Soon, he completely grasped the guardian light. It was a ball of light that bloomed with a mysterious light. Lin Xian smirked as he sensed the power emanating from it. "Very well, I'll take it." With a flip of his hand, he put it away. "How dare you?" This action directly angered the surrounding people. Their eyes shone with a terrifying aura, and a monstrous power swept out. "What? You want to fight?" Lin Xian looked around and sneered. "The guardian light is not yours. I got it with my own ability. What are you unhappy about?" Damn it, the people from the immemorial grotto were so angry that they vomited blood. They were the ones who shattered it, but the other party rushed up last. They wanted to kill him immediately. However, at this moment, the people from the Kunlun Pavilion also walked over and stood behind Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "I'll take it. If you're unhappy, you can fight. I'll accompany you to the end." He exuded a powerful aura. What should they do? These people discussed. Naturally, it was to kill him. The people from the Taiga Grotto gritted their teeth. They definitely couldn't tolerate someone snatching their treasures from them. However, one of Lei Shun's experts frowned. This brat was extremely strange. He had many cards in his hands. They were really going to fight. We may not be able to kill him. And now he has the Kunlun Pavilion behind him. Now was not the time to kill it. It was better to enter the pagoda first. Damn it, the people from the archaic grotto gritted their teeth. They could only say that they would let him live a little longer. The people from the primordial grotto waved their hands and charged towards the pagoda. The surrounding people were stunned. They couldn't believe that these sacred cities didn't make a move against Lin Xian. Were these people afraid of Lin Xian? When they thought of this possibility, their faces were filled with shock. However, they quickly regained their senses and rushed toward the pagoda. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He smiled, took out the light of protection, and began to absorb it. He could feel that his body had become stronger again. After a period of time, he said, "Let's go and see what treasures are in this pagoda. Maybe we can find a few more sacred king wills." The group of people flashed and rushed inside. Previously, the light of protection was still at the entrance, but now the bow of protection was gone, so they didn't encounter any obstruction. After entering, they realized that the first level was extremely vast. It was like a world of its own. It was much bigger than they had imagined. There were many passageways inside, and there were even various secret chambers arranged in various ways. It was dazzling. Some people rushed into the secret chamber at the side, but they soon rushed back. After searching more than 10 secret chambers in a row, these people came out and said angrily, "Damn it, there's nothing." They originally thought that there should be countless treasures inside, but now they didn't find anything. The people from the Kunlun Pavilion also went to check, but their expressions weren't good. Lin Xian used the heavenly secret child prodigy. At the same time, someone said, "Could it be that they're all here? Damn it, who did it? How could they be so fast?" An elder of the Kunlun Pavilion said, "The light of protection is still there. If it was there before, no one should have come in. Let's go. There's nothing on the first level. Let's go to the second level." Lin Xian looked around, then shook his head. The members of the Kunlun Pavilion also held Lin Xian in high regard. Therefore, they all nodded in agreement to his words. "Let's go to the second level then." After the others searched around, they didn't find anything. So they went to the second level. However, there was nothing on the second level. Apart from that, the third and fourth levels were the same. Finally, they came to the fifth level. The expressions of these people were already extremely unsightly. Could it be that there's nothing in the pagoda? Damn it. Did the people from before come and take it away? Because they knew that as the third level of the Tao discussion, this wasn't the first time someone had entered the primordial battlefield. Before this, other people who had participated in the Tao discussion must have been here before. If they can't take it out, is there nothing here before? But it doesn't seem like it. There are no traces of anyone here. For a moment, everyone frowned. There was nothing on the fifth level too, so they were going crazy. Lin Xian's brows were tightly furrowed as he looked around. Suddenly, he looked at the wall. There were some marks there, which seemed to be traces of a fight. Lin Xian walked forward and looked carefully. "Let's go and take a look." The geniuses of the Kunlun Pavilion knew how terrifying Lin Xian's eye technique was, so they quickly followed him. One of the geniuses looked forward carefully. There were some traces of a fight on the wall, and one of them was a blade mark. Although the mark was very faint, the genius was sent flying while coughing up blood. "What's going on?" The others were stunned, and they all used their laws to defend themselves. The people of the Kunlun Pavilion were also shocked, and they quickly helped the genius up. The experts of the Kunlun Pavilion asked, "What happened? Who attacked you? That person said, "Blade mark." There was a terrifying aura left on it. After saying that, his face turned even paler. What? Blade mark? The surrounding people looked over, and Lin Xian was even more nervous. He was the closest, so he knew best. The genius from before stretched out his soul and shrouded the blade mark, wanting to examine it carefully. However, as soon as the soul approached, it exploded with an extremely powerful great Tao, injuring him. Chapter 4296. This great Tao was very terrifying. It had obviously surpassed the Holy Venerate and was left behind by the Holy King. It seemed that it was related to the Holy King's will. The others also looked over. When their souls approached, they felt an extremely strong power of the great path permeating the air. They didn't dare to act rashly. It was the Holy King's will. This mark was related to the Holy King's will. These people's eyes were all red. It seemed that it wasn't that there were no treasures here, but that there was a huge treasure. It was even possible that the Holy King's will was here. Thinking of this, the atmosphere in many holy cities began to change. Terrifying power flowed between heaven and earth. It seemed that a big battle was about to break out. At this moment, the people from Thunder God's city frowned. He said, "You don't want a shocking battle to happen, right? So, I have a suggestion." "What suggestion do you have?" the people from returning Origin Palace asked coldly. A middle-aged man walked out from Thunder God City. His name was Lei Qiansa. He was very strong. At this moment, he swept his gaze and said in a deep voice, "There are so many of us, and it's very likely that there's only one Holy King's will. So I think it's better to rely on our own opportunities. Every holy city will send people up to communicate with the Holy King's will. Whoever can get the approval will get this thing." As soon as these words were spoken, everyone started to discuss. Thunder God City actually made such a request. It seemed that there were many people from Thunder God City who came this time. No matter how strong their confidence was, some people were also unwilling to rashly start a battle. After all, at their level, once a battle started, the consequences would be very tragic. "I agree." The people from Taiga Grotto stood up and nodded. They were also very confident about this. No one else objected. Since that was the case, let's begin. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone took a deep breath. It seemed that everyone only had one chance, and no one dared to try it easily. After all, the domineering power that came from above made everyone's hair stand on end. No one dared to come? Then I'll do it. An expert from the Grand Valley Grotto walked out, attracting the attention of countless people. Everyone held their breaths. The middle-aged man's expression was also solemn. He extended his soul and surged forward. On the wall in front of him, other than a saber mark, there was also a mark and a terrifying fragment. This saint of Taiga Grotto knew how domineering the saber mark was. Therefore, he didn't dare to look at the saber mark. Instead, he enveloped the mark with his soul. His soul enveloped it, but he didn't feel any danger, which made him feel relieved. In the next moment, a smile appeared on his face as he walked forward. The others also held their breaths. Could it be that this guy was the first to try and obtain a great opportunity? However, Lin Xian's pupils shrank as he sneered. "Idiot!" The people from the primordial grotto were proud. In their eyes, Lin Xian was jealous. However, in the next moment, they were dumbfounded. The imprint suddenly exploded like the shadow of a god, instantly piercing through the saint's sovereign's body. With a bang, the Lord was sent flying, and a transparent mark appeared on his body. The sudden appearance of this scene really shocked everyone. What's going on? Was this mark also so terrifying? At this moment, everyone's faces turned ugly. Only Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Since you're trash, get out." He waved his sleeve, and a gust of wind blew that person away. "Damn it, The faces of the people from the primordial grotto became extremely ugly. Was the other party provoking them? However, they didn't make a move. They all wanted to see what this kid had to be so arrogant. Was Lin Woody going to make a move? Everyone became nervous. They didn't know if Lin Woody could do it. How could this kid do it? Who did he think he was? Even so, he couldn't withstand such a violent power. Amidst everyone's discussion, Lin Xian walked over. In the next moment, a piercing light burst out from his eyes and surged forward. His target was also this mark. When his golden gaze landed on the mark, he didn't feel any threat. He knew that this mark was extremely terrifying. Sure enough, in the next moment, a terrifying aura came from the mark. The power was like 10,000 horses galloping, about to shatter heaven and earth. The void around Lin Xian kept shattering. The powerful aura pressed down on the surrounding people until they couldn't breathe. It was so terrifying. The surrounding people all raised their defenses to resist. Morong Qingcheng and the others were also extremely nervous. Lin Xian, are you okay? Lin Xian felt a huge force enveloping him, as if his body was about to be torn apart. Block it! In the next moment, his black hair danced wildly, and the golden light on his body bloomed into the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Then, he also punched out. This punch seemed to be able to topple mountains and overturn seas, covering the sky and earth as it charged forward. It collided fiercely with the mark, and it was as if thunder rang out. The terrifying power shattered the void. Lin Xian's face became incomparably pale. His body also began to tremble. Seeing this scene, everyone became nervous. The people from the primordial grotto and Thunder God City revealed a cold smile, just as they had thought. How could this brat possibly withstand it? However, soon their smiles froze, because they found that Lin Xian's body had stabilized again. The fist was like the sun, and it was even more dazzling. As for the power of the imprint, it was slowly disappearing. How could it be? This kid blocked it. Did he get recognition? A look of shock appeared in their eyes. In the next moment, they burst out with a fierce aura and then rushed forward. At the same time, Lin Xian's eyes were also flickering. To be honest, the moment he collided with the mark just now, he saw a shocking scene. It was an ancient battlefield. During the primordial age, there was a terrifying figure who was like a god. He struck out a mark, and that strike seemed to have fallen from the sky. The sky fell, and the earth cracked. It could overturn the sky. The mark finally blasted into the wall. In the blur, a voice could be heard. It was called the Seal of the Human Ruler. Lin Xian gasped. The Seal of the Human Ruler should be the name of the mark. It seemed that it was indeed left behind by a sage ruler. Buzz. Light flickered, and the mark flew over from the wall, blooming with incomparable light, and floated towards Lin Xian. Then it floated in the void. This scene caused countless people to exclaim. Could it be that this mark was also the will of a sage ruler? They felt that it was really too incredible. Lin Xian was also overjoyed. He didn't expect that he would obtain another will of a sage ruler. At the same time, he also obtained a unique skill, the Seal of the Human Ruler. Thinking of this, he stretched out his golden hand and grabbed in front of the control panel. However, in the next moment, an extremely terrifying killing intent came from behind him, as if it was going to pierce through him. Chapter 4297. Sensing the killing intent, Lin Xian frowned. The others, especially Morong Qingcheng and the others, became extremely nervous because they realized that the people of Thunder God City from the primordial grotto had made their move. At this critical moment, Lin Xian fused with the mark. At the same time, he used his space magic and disappeared into the void. 2 terrifying attacks tore everything apart. However, they only hit an afterimage. Damn it, did that kid run away? Don't worry, his people are still here. They can't run far. The eyes of the people of Thunder God City flashed with lightning. The two of them looked in all directions. Sure enough, in the next moment, they saw Lin Xian appear in another space. Kid, hand over the thing, and I'll spare your life, the people of Primordial Grotto said in a cold voice. What if I don't hand it over? Lin Xian snorted. At this moment, his palm had already fused with the mark. He felt a terrifying aura flowing quickly. In his mind, he was also quickly accepting the inheritance of this divine ability. Not good, hurry up. He has completely fused with the thing. The people of Thunder God City saw this scene and roared in anger. Lei Qiance's body flickered, and he instantly charged forward. A terrifying force exploded like a sea of thunder and spread in all directions. The surrounding people's faces changed. Retreat quickly. They knew that a great battle was about to break out. The surrounding people were pushed far away. Fortunately, the space inside the pagoda was big enough. Even so, they still put up their defenses to resist. Lei Tiance turned into a bolt of lightning and charged directly at Lin Xian. In an instant, he appeared in front of Lin Xian. Then, he threw a fierce punch. Buzz. Lin Xian waved his hand, and boundless flames jumped, forming a huge flaming mountain in front of him. With a clang, the lightning fist collided with the flaming mountain, erupting with unparalleled power. The entire pagoda shook violently. However, the flaming mountain did not shatter. This kid's physique is too strong. Countless people sucked in a breath of cold air. Lei Qianse was a late-stage Saint Venerable, while Lin Xian was only a mid-stage Saint Venerable. There was a difference of one realm between them. Their physiques were actually on par with each other. It was truly unbelievable. Lin Xian's 9-yang divine body was originally very powerful. In addition, he had absorbed the protective light earlier, so he did not directly use his palm. Instead, he used the flames to form a huge mountain to block it. This meant that his physique had become even stronger than before. This guardian light is really a good item. It would be great if I could get more of it, Lin Xian thought to himself. On the other side, Lei Qiance's face turned extremely cold. Damn it, the other party was actually so strong. Is that all you've got? It's not that impressive. No wonder you couldn't obtain the Sage King's will. When he heard Lin Xian sneer, Lei Qianse was thoroughly enraged. He roared, and the laws on his body surged. Thunder Tyrant Fist. Terrifying bolts of lightning kept spinning before rapidly interweaving with one another. Next, countless bolts of lightning transformed into a massive fist. It contained a violent, destructive aura. Then, it ruthlessly attacked Lin Xian. Many people cried out in surprise. This was a very domineering fist technique. When a late-stage Saint Venerable used it, it was definitely terrifying. Most people of the same level would not dare to take it head-on. Murong Qingcheng and the others looked very serious and nervous. On the other side, the ancient grotto revealed a cold smile. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He could naturally feel the terrifying power of this fist. In the next moment, he even raised his hand and formed a seal. Then he pressed it forward. This palm seemed ordinary. It did not seem to contain any power. It was very light. Countless people were shocked. This kid had already given up on resisting. However, in the next moment, the seal changed. The seal emitted an extremely terrifying aura. It contained a violent power, as if it was the ruler of the world. Then, it fiercely slammed forward. When the surrounding people felt the change in the aura, their faces all changed. How was this possible? Everyone was going crazy. How did the other party know such a powerful martial art? Lei Qiance's face changed. Damn it. He realized that he had felt this power before. It came from the palm shadow. Now that the other party could use it, what did it mean? Did the other party completely get it? As he was immersed in astonishment, the seal descended and penetrated the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Then it collided with the Thunder Tyrant Fist. Boom! The two forces collided, and the great path of the world exploded. Everyone felt their hearts tremble. Some people could not help but want to kneel down. Crack! In the terrifying scene, cracks appeared on the Thunder Tyrant Fist. Then the Thunder Law runes shattered. Lei Qiansa was also sent flying. He kept roaring and spitting out blood. His face became very ugly. The surrounding people were all stunned. Their eyes were wide open. They could not believe it. Was the thunderous tyrant fist broken? That was an extremely domineering fist technique. What exactly was the seal that the other party used? Why did it feel even more terrifying? The people from the primordial grotto frowned. Damn it, what was going on? Did the kid get the inheritance? Lei Qiansa also roared crazily. You can use that seal. You got it. That's right. What else do you want to ask? I'll tell you everything. When you know everything, I'll send you on your way. Lin Xian's cold voice rang out. A cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. Was this kid going to kill him? Lei Qiansa was also shocked, but soon his face turned cold. So what if he got it? I can capture you and take your soul. I can get it all the same. Kill. With a roar, his black hair fluttered. Lightning surrounded his body as he attacked again. This punch swept across the sky. It was very terrifying. It pressed forward with indomitable will. He was completely enraged. He even used the secret technique of Thunder God City. Lin Xian sneered. He activated his power and used the human ruler's seal again. He was like a divine king that looked down on the 9 heavens. When the terrifying hand fell, it could overturn the sky. Boom! Another shocking blow. The void shattered, and the galaxy turned upside down. There was not a single space that was intact. Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, the lightning fist was shattered again. Blood rained down from the sky. Lei Qiansa's hair was disheveled as he vomited blood and was sent flying. His arm was also deformed. There were cracks all over it. The crowd did not expect that it was the same imprint that had injured Lei Qiansa. What kind of power was that? Lin Xian snorted. Lightning appeared under his feet. He was extremely fast and appeared in front of the other party. It was the human ruler's seal again. It was like a golden sky that fell down. Boom. This attack directly sent the other party flying. The other party's body was shattered into pieces. It made everyone's scalp go numb. At this moment, Lei Qiansa roared and spat out a thunder drum. The thunder drum shook. Endless lightning exploded and shot up to the 9 heavens. In the end, it turned into a thunder god that charged over. Lin Xian did not care. The human ruler's seal fell. At the same time, the 10 ultimate sword formation flew out. The thunder god's phantom trembled. Chapter 4298. Boom. The terrifying man-ruler seal continued to descend. It was as if it could topple mountains and overturn seas, causing the sky to crumble and the earth to crack. Lei Qiansa's attack couldn't be blocked at all, unless he took out a true Saint Ruler weapon. But he didn't have one, so his body was torn apart again. Primordial Grotto, are you still not going to attack? He roared crazily. The people from the Primordial Grotto were also very serious. One of them snorted and attacked. It was the old man from the Primordial Grotto. He immediately attacked with terrifying laws. Like countless lightning bolts, he charged at Lin Xian. Each attack could kill a holy venerate. Such an attack was really terrifying. Buzz. Lin Xian waved his hands and formed a Taiji diagram. It kept spinning and blocked all the laws. At the same time, the Taiji diagram exploded again. It turned into a terrifying Taiji sword light that kept flashing. He also used the 10 ultimate sword formation, which swept out in all directions. At this moment, Lei Qiansa found an opportunity. He roared, and his broken body recovered. He also charged over. Two late-stage saint sovereigns working together to fight Lin Xian. Countless people were shocked. No matter how powerful someone was, they wouldn't be able to block it. Shen Jingxiu and the others' expressions changed. They wanted to charge over, but Lin Xian transmitted his voice to them. "No need, I can handle it." He roared, and demonic qi filled the sky. He took out the great destruction and swept it. It turned into a black demonic dragon and flew out. As if it was splitting the sky and earth, a terrifying power blasted forward. The two were sent flying and vomited blood. Their faces were filled with shock. The surrounding people were also stunned. Lin Xian had sent two late-stage saint sovereigns flying with one move. That was too heaven-defying. However, the others felt their scalps go numb. That aura was a saint ruler weapon. He actually had a saint ruler weapon. That was unbelievable. As expected, Lei Qiansa and the old man from the primordial grotto had ugly expressions. They originally thought that the two of them could easily kill their opponent. They didn't expect their opponent to have such a trump card. Kill. The two of them roared and unleashed their strongest power. If he could kill the other party, not only would he be able to obtain the human ruler's imprint, but he would also be able to obtain a saint ruler's weapon. However, not long after, they broke down and quickly fled. The reason for that was because they discovered that they were simply unable to withstand it. The cooperation between the other party and the Saint King's weapon was too strong. Countless cracks appeared on the bodies of the two of them. If the two of them were not powerful late-stage holy venerables, they would have been killed long ago. Buzz. Another attack pierced through Lei Qiansa's body. His body exploded once again, turning into a bloody mist. Too powerful. The people around were shocked when they heard the cries. Before such power, even a late-stage holy venerate was nothing. Lin Xian had the complete upper hand in a one-on-two fight, beating the two powerhouses to the point that they kept running away. However, this place was completely sealed by the 10 ultimate sword formation. For a moment, the two of them were unable to escape. The others were shocked. Even the Kunlun Pavilion was dumbfounded. At this moment of crisis, two figures appeared outside the Universal Tower. The moment the two of them appeared, they froze the Universal Tower. The next moment, they sped up and instantly entered the Universal Tower. Then, two terrifying powers erupted. Everything was destroyed. Many people were sent flying. Lin Xianxian was also pushed back. The sword aura in front of him continued to shatter. Even the mountain that he had created was also cracked. In the end, he used the Great Destruction Spear to block the terrifying attacks. Then, his face turned completely gloomy. The others also exclaimed. A top expert had come. Moreover, he had brought a Saint King's weapon. The next moment, everyone looked up. Two figures appeared in the void in front of him. When the two figures appeared, many people gasped. The elder from the ancient grotto heaved a sigh of relief. He said, "Elder, you came at the right time. Quickly kill that brat. He has a Saint King's banner." The elder who had just arrived had an abnormally terrifying aura. Beside him was a man in purple. After the purple-clothed man stared at Lin Xian, an extremely terrifying killing intent erupted. "Lin Xian, it's actually you? Great. Today is the day of your death." He shouted coldly, and a Yellow Springs diagram appeared on his body. It kept bobbing up and down, and a terrifying cold aura flowed down. A Saint King's weapon. Everyone was terrified. They didn't expect the other party to bring a Saint King's weapon. "What? Do you think you can contend against me just because you have a Saint King's weapon? How laughable!" Lin Xian snorted. He also had the Great Destruction Spear in his hand. "Is that so? Then what about this?" The elder from the ancient grotto took a step forward. Immediately, an extremely terrifying aura erupted from his body. A small tower appeared in his hand. It was incomparably terrifying, as if it was made of strange stones. It was abnormally terrifying. Stone tower. It was also a Saint King's weapon. The moment the two Saint King's weapons appeared, they swept in all directions and suppressed the monstrous demonic aura. At this moment, everyone's expressions changed. They knew that Lin Xian was dead for sure. Under such an attack, the other party would definitely not be able to survive. The expressions of the people from the Kunlun Pavilion also changed. Murong Qingcheng walked out. In her hand, there was a cyan phantom that kept spinning. It emitted a terrifying aura. Do you think we don't have any trump cards on our side? Murong Qingcheng threw out the green phantom. It was a huge mountain that floated between heaven and earth, carrying a primordial aura. The surrounding people exclaimed again, Kunlun Mountain. This was also a Saint King's weapon. The four Saint King's weapons collided between heaven and earth. Everyone retreated. At this moment, no one dared to stay here. Only four figures confronted each other. Senior, go and stop the people from the Kunlun Pavilion. I want to kill this kid with my own hands. Ziming said coldly. The elder from the ancient grotto brought the stone tower to fight against the Kunlun Mountain. On the other side, Ziming directly charged over. The yellow springs gourd in his hand kept falling. The endless yellow springs water rose and fell. Heaven and earth rumbled. Everyone was shocked. It was too powerful. Once a Saint King's weapon was used, even a late-stage Saint Venerable could not resist. Unless they also had a Saint King's weapon in their hands, they could not resist. Lin Xian also roared and waved the Great Destruction Spear. The battle between the two shook heaven and earth. This was a world-shaking battle. Both sides were evenly matched. No one could do anything to the other. However, at that moment Lei Qiansa and the old man from the immemorial grotto rushed over again. They wanted to sneak attack Lin Xian. They did not know what was good for them. Lin Xian waved the 10 Fatalities sword and slashed out, creating a large crack. It blocked the attacks of the two. At the same time, the Great Destruction Spear shot out a demonic light and instantly sent the two flying. However, in the next moment, his pupils shrank. A killing sword directly slashed his body and sent him flying. Chapter 4299. This sword strike was extremely terrifying, causing cracks to appear on Lin Xian's body. He retreated, his face pale, and an extremely cold, killing intent burst out from his eyes. The surrounding people also exclaimed in surprise. Lin Xian was actually injured. Who did it? It was too unbelievable. They all turned their heads to look, but in the next moment they actually did not see who it was. Lin Xian frowned. It was a saint slayer, and an extremely powerful one at that. Could it be that the people from the mortal world had come again? A golden light burst out from his eyes, and it was rarely seen in all directions. In the next moment, he felt an extremely terrifying aura surging towards him. In an instant, it appeared behind him again. Get lost! Lin Xian roared angrily. He waved the Great Destruction and shot out a destructive light, charging towards the back. However, that person dodged. At the same time, Ziming in front of him waved the underworld gourd and charged over. Kid, go to hell. There was a top-notch expert in front of him with a Saint King weapon, and there was a terrifying killer in the dark. It could be said that Lin Xian's situation was extremely dangerous. It seemed that the people from the mortal world had actually come in, and it had something to do with these sacred cities. On the other side, Shen Jingqiu magically changed. She wanted to soar into the sky and help. However, a terrifying Saint King pressure came down, causing her to be unable to move forward. There's no need. Lin Xian said. He was afraid that Shen Jingqiu would be in danger. When Murong Qingqing saw this scene, he also wanted to make a move. At this moment, the old man from the primordial grotto, he sneered, "Me, I won't let you make a move." The stone pagoda in his hand emitted an extremely terrifying aura, suppressing heaven and earth. Murong Qingqing's face was cold. He could only activate Kunlun Mountain to contend with it. "Kid, I'll see how you die this time." The people from the underworld hall and the primordial grotto sneered. They felt that Lin Xian was dead for sure. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Dead for sure? What kind of joke was this? With his strength and trump cards, no matter how strong these people were, they would not be able to hurt him. He was able to survive even under the sage Wang Shouzhong, let alone now. Thinking of this, an extremely sharp light burst out from his eyes. In the next moment, he swung the Great Destruction again and charged over. Boom, boom. There was another shocking collision. Zi Ming's arm was numb from the impact. Although he also had a Saint King's weapon, he discovered that he could not suppress his opponent. The more he stood, the more arrogant he became. He was like a peerless divine king. At this moment, another terrifying killing intent appeared behind Lin Xian's back. The killing sword appeared once again. Lin Xian sneered, "I was waiting for you." An illusion of the great sage pagoda appeared around him, blocking the sword. At the same time, he executed stellar transposition, and a terrifying sword light slashed out. With a poochie sound, fresh blood flowed down from the void. Someone groaned in the darkness and then quickly fled. "You want to leave?" Lin Xian coldly snorted and was about to brandish the Great Destruction Spear. Seeing this, the people of Acheron Hall frantically used the Acheron Gourd and the Acheron Dao diagram to suppress the Great Destruction Spear. He wanted to give his opponent a chance to escape. Lin Xian indeed unleashed a dragon-shaped sword chi that split everything in half. Boom, boom, boom. The void was torn in half, and a figure fell out. That person was also split in half. His scalp was numb, and he wanted to escape. However, he was instantly enveloped by the 10 ultimate sword formation. Humph! Lin Xian coldly snorted and unleashed the power of the great dragon sword soul. It exploded and destroyed his opponent's soul. Damn it! Zi Ming's expression was ugly. He did not expect that his opponent could still kill this Saint Killer after he had restrained the opponent's Saint King's weapon. Lin Xian turned around. Like a golden god of war, he held the Great Destruction Spear in one hand and the 10 ultimate swords in the other as he attacked crazily. Boom, boom. Zi Ming was beaten until he trembled and kept retreating. His face was full of shock. Without the Saint artifact, he was afraid that he could not block his opponent's attack. Buzz. Suddenly, Lin Xian used his eye technique and attacked Zi Ming. Zi Ming was stunned. Lin Xian waved the Great Destruction Spear and directly pierced through the expert from Thunder God City. His astral soul was also destroyed. In the blink of an eye, another late-stage saint venerable died. Damn it! Zi Ming roared. His body emitted the power of laws. He held the underworld gourd with both hands and unleashed a shocking attack. Underworld destruction. This attack seemed to be able to destroy everything. However, Lin Xian used the Great Destruction Spear and formed a black storm to block this attack. At the same time, he waved the Man-Ruler seal and slammed his palm over. With a crack, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Zi Ming spat out blood and flew backward. His body was directly shattered. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. It was too strong. Zi Ming had a Saint King's weapon, but he still could not block it. Damn it! Zi Ming retreated crazily. Lin Xian charged forward. At the same time, the old man from the ancient grotto made his move. He waved the stone pagoda and charged over. With one attack, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Lin Xian once again charged over with supreme demonic qi. The two sides exchanged battlefields. This time, Murong Qingsheng also took the initiative to attack Ziming. The two battlefields erupted. Everyone left the fifth floor because they did not dare to stay any longer. Ziming had been injured previously. Now that he was facing Murong Qingsheng, he was also suppressed. On the other side, the elder from the ancient grotto had an incomparably cold gaze. Kid, I have to say that you exceeded my expectations. No wonder the underworld hall was defeated so miserably. His eyes emitted a cold light. Lin Xian snorted coldly. So what if they were from the ancient grotto? Although your background is extraordinary, can you be stronger than the nest of 10,000 dragons? I'm not even afraid of the nest of 10,000 dragons. Why would I be afraid of you? Lin Xian's eyes were filled with arrogance. The elder from the ancient grotto's pupils constricted. A hint of shock appeared in his eyes. You even know about the nest of 10,000 dragons. It seems that you are not from the second astral realm. Could it be that you left from this world? Thinking of this, he became incomparably cold. To be honest, he did not know Lin Xian's identity before because he only woke up many years after Lin Xian left the true spirit world. When he woke up, the entire world had changed greatly. Those geniuses from before had already been forgotten by people. Therefore, it was normal that he had not heard of Lin Xian. However, judging from these few words, he knew that Lin Xian should be from this world. It seems that your identity is not ordinary, but so what? If I attack, you have no chance of winning. This elder's eyes were filled with infinite confidence. His strength was even stronger than Ziming's. Therefore, when he used a Saint King weapon, the power would be even more terrifying than before. It would be as easy as flipping his hand if he wanted to kill the other party. Buzz. Suddenly, a trace of a biting cold light bloomed in the elder's eyes. The void around Lin Xian broke open. For large stone hands grabbed at him, like the hands of a god. They instantly enveloped Lin Xian. The sudden attack carried an extremely powerful force. Lin Xian seemed to have known it long ago. A golden light flickered in his eyes. Then, the sword's shadow slashed out in all directions like a divine sword. Chapter 4300. After the attack, a shocking power erupted. Then Lin Xian's figure disappeared into thin air. When he reappeared, he was behind the old man. The great spear of destruction slashed down like a sharp sword. Buzz. The old man's expression changed. He was courting death. He did not expect that his opponent would be able to block his attack so quickly and even counterattack. This caused him to feel furious. He turned around and slapped out. In his palm, the stone pagoda floated up and down. The runes that bloomed were too terrifying. The two saint artifacts collided, shattering everything. The entire Qianquan Tower shook violently. The Qianquan Tower was extremely mysterious. Even in the face of a Saint King's weapon, it was not damaged. He wondered what level it had reached. However, no matter how good the pagoda was, no one could take the Qianquan Tower. It could only stand between heaven and earth. When the two saint artifacts collided, the old man also emitted a terrifying aura. He opened his palm and slapped out. Countless Tao runes appeared on his arm. The power of his entire arm increased exponentially. Lin Xian was still fearless. He slapped out the man-ruler seal to fight back. When the two collided, Lin Xian was pushed back. The old man sneered. So, what if he had a saint artifact? He was still pushed back by him. However, in the next moment, his expression changed. Damn it. His body trembled. A terrifying aura appeared in his eyes to suppress the death energy in his body. At the moment of the collision, a wave of death energy surged into his body. He floated the stone pagoda above his head. Thousands of laws poured into his body to suppress it. On the other side, Lin Xian walked out of the shattered void. He spat out a mouthful of blood, but he sneered. "If you want to hurt me, you'll have to pay the price." In the collision just now, it seemed like he was injured and spat out blood. However, he knew that his opponent was more seriously injured than him, because his opponent had hidden injuries. If he didn't control it well, it would immediately explode. While his opponent was suppressing the death energy, Lin Xian attacked again. He held the Great Destruction Spear with both hands and swept it in all directions. Boom, boom. The battle between the two was even more terrifying than before. From time to time, Lin Xian would release the Law of Death, or he would release a dragon-shaped sword qi that would fly into his opponent's body to destroy it. The other party could still suppress the Law of Death, but this inextinguishable sword was simply too horrifying. It was impossible for him to destroy it in a short period of time. After a few times, the old man suffered internal injuries. His face turned ice cold. "Damn kid, just you wait." He did not attack again. Instead, he quickly retreated. Everyone was stunned. What was going on? Was the battle over? The archaic grotto's people actually retreated. It was too unbelievable. This meant that the people from Archean Grotto were at a disadvantage in this battle. Abominable. Zi Ming from the Yellow Spring Hall also retreated, his expression ugly. He hadn't expected that even with 2 Saint King weapons, they still wouldn't be able to do anything to their opponent. Let's go and search for the Saint's wills elsewhere. These people gritted their teeth and prepared to leave. Buzz. At this moment, Lin Xian suddenly made his move. The Great Destruction Spear pierced through everything and attacked his opponent. He was not attacking Elder Yuan, but another old man. The old man's forehead was pierced, and his soul was destroyed. Even in death, he did not believe that the other party would not let him go. That person was the one who had attacked him together with Lei Qianzi earlier. He would not let that person leave. Abominable. Just you wait. The people from Archean Grotto were so angry that they were about to cry. However, they did not attack again. Instead, they quickly left. "Are you all right?" The people from the Kunlun Pavilion rushed over, their faces full of concern. Murong Qingcheng shook his head. On the other side, Shun Jingqiu and Ziming also came to Lin Xian's side and asked with concern. Lin Xian was also fine. He was a little injured, but it was not a big deal. Thus, he immediately sat down cross-legged and began to recover. Murong Qingcheng also recovered. The Kunlun Pavilion's protectors and the others did not dare to approach. Before long, Lin Xian opened his eyes. He said, "I want to meditate for a while. Thus, I can't leave for now. Qingcheng, take Qiu and go find the Saint King's wills." "Okay. Then, Brother Xian, let some people protect you." Murong Qingcheng arrived. Lin Xian shook his head. "Don't worry, I have ways to protect myself. However, take good care of Qiu." Shun Jingqiu followed Murong Qingcheng and the people from the Kunlun Pavilion and left. Lin Xian stayed behind. Yu Shijia also did not leave. She stayed by Lin Xian's side. She asked, "Do you want to cultivate the Saint King's wills?" Lin Xian said, "That's right. This is very important to me, so I plan to refine it." Yu Shijia also hesitated. He also had a Saint King's wills. Moreover, it was a water-type Saint King's wills. It was very suitable for him. However, if he cultivated the Saint King's wills, it would disappear. At that time, he would not be able to find anything else, and would not be able to go to the buried Emperor's star. If he kept it, he would not be able to increase his strength in a short period of time. After thinking about it, Yu Shijia gritted her teeth and decided to refine it. He would first absorb the energy and think about the future. Thus, he also prepared to refine the Saint King's wills. Lin Xian brought him to the Great Sage Tower. The two of them began to cultivate. There was no need to worry about any sneak attacks here. On the other side, the others also left the Universal Tower because they would discover that there was nothing left here. Murong Qingcheng and the others also left. However, Shen Jingqiu said, "Sister Miss Seductress, I plan to search for it by myself." "No, that's too dangerous." Murong Qingcheng shook his head. "I promised Big Brother Xian that I would take good care of you. Don't worry, I have ways to protect myself." Shen Jingqiu smiled. Then she waved her hand and left. Murong Qingcheng still wanted to say something, but he sighed and did not stop her. An elder beside him asked, "Let her leave by herself? Why don't we send a few experts to protect her in secret?" Murong Qingcheng shook his head. He said, "Forget it. Qiu definitely has a trump card. I believe in her. Let's search for the Saint King's wills first." The people from the Kunlun Pavilion also left. On the other side, Shen Jingqiu went on alone. Then, a mysterious rune flickered in her eyes. In the next moment, she said in a low voice, "Is there really a Saint King's wills in that place you mentioned?" At this moment, a woman's voice sounded in her mind. "Of course there is, and there is more than one. I hope you are not lying to me." Shen Jingqiu increased her speed and disappeared. In the primordial battlefield, there were endless battles. There was even a heaven and earth phenomenon. Clearly, the people who came in had discovered the Saint King's wills. Fu Hongya obtained a Saint King's wills, and many people chased after him. In the end, he merged with the Saint King's wills, and his strength increased greatly. The same thing happened in other places as well. Everyone discovered that not only could the Saint King's wills be used to exchange for the qualifications to enter the buried Emperor Star, but it could also be absorbed to increase one's strength. This way, the situation changed. Previously, everyone wanted to obtain a Saint King's wills, but now, one was probably not enough. They wanted to obtain as much as possible to strengthen themselves. Chapter 43:01. Inside the Great Sage Pagoda, Lin Xian opened his eyes. A supreme Tao appeared in his eyes. It quickly disappeared. At this moment, the aura on his body became even more terrifying. Although his cultivation did not increase after cultivating the human ruler seal, he had a domineering aura that looked down on the world. It was too powerful. Was this the will of a sage king? Lin Xian was shocked. He turned to look at Yu Shijie in the distance. Yu Shijie was also shocked by Lin Xian's aura, so she also opened her eyes. There was also a deep power emerging from her body. Lin Xian knew that this was the power of water. How did it feel? Did you get any ultimate techniques? Yu Shijie nodded and stood up. She walked over. She said that she had obtained a divine power called the Aquarius Purifying Bottle. Obviously, she had also gained a lot. It seemed that the Sage Kings will not only contain the Tao of heaven and earth, but also the ultimate techniques of the Sage King. When he was alive, he wondered who the human ruler was. Just as he was thinking, an earth-shattering tremor came from outside. Then, a terrifying aura spread out. Even Lin Xian felt it from inside the Great Sage Pagoda. It was so scary. What was it? Beside him, Yu Shijie was also shocked. She also frowned. Lin Xian put away the Great Sage Pagoda. The two appeared on the 5th level. Then they left the Universe Pagoda. They looked into the distance. Countless large cracks appeared in the sky of the primordial battlefield, and an extremely terrifying force spread throughout the area. Everyone discovered that some illusions had appeared in the sky. There were terrifying stone tablets and mysterious palaces that formed one piece. What was this? Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He said that as the ancient battlefield, there must have been something incredible here. It seemed that this had appeared in the core of the ancient battlefield. Did someone activate some array mechanism? Or was the ancient battlefield about to completely open? He had some guesses in his heart, but he could not be sure. There was no need to think so much. Let's go and take a look. Lin Xian knew that although that place was dangerous, there might be more Sage King's will. Buzz. The two turned into streaks of light and flew into the distance. Meanwhile, the people around the primordial battlefield also looked up with shock in their eyes. Chao Tiansheng held a saint's will in his hand. His eyes swept across the void and looked into the distance. Is it open? Let's go. With a wave of his hand, he led the people of the limitless sect and quickly set off. On the other side, Murong Qingcheng had obtained the second Sage King's will. Her beautiful eyes were filled with joy. At this time, she also looked up and saw the scene in the distance. Then, she also led the people from the Kunlun Pavilion over. There was a canyon in the primordial battlefield. It was said that countless experts had died there. It was a terrifying place. The primordial battlefield was an extremely dangerous place. However, within this gorge, a bright light shone out as a heaven and earth dharma form tore everything apart. Shen Jingqiu walked out with a pale face. However, she smiled. This time, although it was dangerous and she had been injured, she had obtained 3 Sage King wills. Then she looked up into the distance. At this time, the mysterious woman's voice sounded again. Unexpectedly, that place had also opened. Let's go and take a look. There are incredible opportunities there too. Shen Jingqiu nodded. Then her figure flashed, and she flew into the distance. At the same time, Linghu Chueshue, Gu Feng, and the other experts of the sacred city all gathered in front. In the void, 10,000 rays of starlight fell. This was an expert of the 7-star tower who had reached the late-stage, holy exalted level. His strength was also very terrifying. At this moment, his face was filled with excitement. This was because he had also obtained a Sage King's will. He was on his way back when the void suddenly broke open. A white bone hand instantly enveloped him. Damn it! The old man of the 7-star tower was also an expert. He roared and counterattacked. However, at this time, a broken sword pierced through his body from the ground. Bang! That old man felt his vitality slipping away. In the next moment, he was completely enveloped by the white bone hand. A skeleton walked out from the ground. It was the same in the sky. It was a broken human figure. There was no vitality in their bodies. There were runes flickering on their bodies. Clearly, they were being controlled by some mysterious power. This was not the first situation like this. There were a total of 3. 3 powerful late-stage holy exalts were killed. The wills of the holy nets in their hands were also snatched away. In a remote area of the ancient battlefield, the earth split open. Several Sage Kings' wills floated in the void. The old man's lips curled up into a cold smile. Very good. Suddenly, heaven and earth trembled. A desolate aura appeared in the distance, causing the tombs of the experts in the surroundings to shake non-stop. Those skeletons were filled with fear. They no longer paid attention to the old man's control and directly drilled into the tombs. The old man guarding the tomb waved his hand and collected all the Sage King's wills. Then his face became somewhat gloomy. Had that place opened? He had not expected that the people who had entered this time would be so extraordinary. Then he glanced at the small mound to the side and frowned slightly. He did not know if that fellow had gone there. If that fellow had gone there, it would be troublesome. It seemed that he would have to make a trip there. A mysterious light appeared in the eyes of the old man guarding the tomb. Lin Xian and Yu Shirjie were flying rapidly in the air. Suddenly, he frowned. Who was it? As soon as he finished speaking, he directly slapped out with his palm, shattering the void. The white bone long blade descended from the sky, and the Runwang seal collided with each other. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. Yu Shirjie also frowned. Was someone attacking them? Was it a top assassin? Lin Xian's face was also cold. However, when he saw the crack, he was stunned. It seemed that it was not a person of the human world, but some white bone creatures. Lin Xian directly took out the spear of great destruction and fought with it. That white bone creature was very powerful. However, under the great destruction, it could not resist at all and was directly shattered. It still wanted to escape, but in the end, it was directly suppressed by Lin Xian using the Taiji diagram. Lin Xian used his divine ability to search and obtain some vague information. This person was here to snatch the Sage King's wills. This fellow was extremely powerful when he was alive. It was not possible to completely kill him now. Lin Xian directly cast a seal and completely sealed this fellow in the ground. Then he frowned slightly. The following scene would probably be even more complicated. Anyone could attack him, and the difficulty of him wanting to obtain more Sage King's wills would increase exponentially. He had to think of a way. Suddenly, he was stunned and thought of a person. "Come out!" A figure was directly pulled out by him. Chapter 43:02. When she saw this figure, Yu Shiche was also stunned because she realized that it was 9 Qilins. 9 Qilins from before had their lives cut off by Lin Xian, but they hadn't died completely. Instead, they had been suppressed by Lin Xian. At this moment, he released 9 Qilins. After 9 Qilins came out, he gritted his teeth and said, "Damn brat, let me go. The demon city won't let you go." Lin Xian said coldly, "Is that so? I'll give you 2 chances now. Submit to me and let me plant a restriction in your soul. That way, you can live. Second, you can resist, but I'll destroy your soul." Beside him, Yu Shiche gasped. She knew that Lin Xian wanted to subdue 9 Qilins. However, 9 Qilins were different from her. If it were anyone else, Lin Xian would forcefully control their soul. But 9 Qilins was different. His bloodline was too strong. He must have some life-saving means left behind by an expert. If Lin Xian forcefully controlled 9 Qilins, he might activate these trump cards. Therefore, he had to make 9 Qilins willing. 9 Qilins gritted his teeth, unwilling to give up. However, when he thought of Lin Xian's methods, he knew that if he resisted, his soul would be destroyed. He could only say, "I can submit to you, but only for 100 years. After 100 years, I want you to let me go." "Okay." Lin Xian nodded. 9 Qilins gritted his teeth and said, "Swear on your future martial path." It seemed that he was still worried. Lin Xian sneered. "You want to negotiate with me? Do you think you're qualified? If you're not willing, I'll do it." He took out the Great Destruction Spear, and demonic chi exploded from his body. 9 Qilin's expression became even uglier. This was the aura of a Saint King's weapon. It seemed that the other party was much stronger than before. He didn't dare to resist anymore. He could only release his soul and let Lin Xian use his trump card. Lin Xian's spirit entered the other party's mind and heaved a sigh of relief. As expected, the other party had a life-saving method in his mind. He didn't move. Instead, he set up a soul imprint in another place with the power of the heavenly secret god eyes. Even a Saint King would not be able to detect it. "All right," Lin Xian said. "Follow me first. When I see the people from the demon city, I will let you out." If he were to let the other party leave now, the 9 Qilins would not be able to survive in such a dangerous situation. Once again, the group of people set off. In the sky, figures appeared one after another. They stood there and looked at the scene in front of them with sparkling eyes. This was the core of the primordial battlefield. The aura emanating from this place was even more terrifying. A huge city appeared there. There were all kinds of pavilions in the city, and they were full of traces of time. Lin Xian and Yu Shiche were there as well. They looked ahead, their eyes flashing. "Let's go." Lin Xian waved his hand, and the two of them turned into streaks of light as they headed towards the huge city. At the same time, people turned into streaks of light in all directions. This city was very big, so it was impossible to investigate it completely in a short period of time. It was even possible that they might encounter each other. As these people entered, the huge city that had been asleep for countless years became lively again. However, not long after, a low sound came from inside. It sounded like a roar. Countless people were shocked. Could it be that there were still living existences in this city? If that was the case, how terrifying would it be? Boom! The ground cracked open, and black figures appeared one after another. These were all demonic beasts, and they were abnormally ferocious. However, no one knew what these things were. Lin Xian also frowned. It seemed that they could not search aimlessly. They had to quickly find the aura of the Saint King's will. Thinking of this, he opened his heavenly secret god eyes. Then, he sensed a mysterious aura in the distance. He prepared to go over and take a look. The two of them turned into streaks of light and flew through the city. Although it was called a huge city, it was really too vast. There were even mountains, trees, and canyons. Lin Xian and the others flew all the way. During this time, they even encountered some attacks. It seemed that there was more than one demonic beast inside. This huge city should have a special power that could allow demonic beasts to cultivate smoothly. Yu Shircha shot out 2 laws and sent 2 demonic beasts flying. She frowned slightly. If this continued, their speed would be very slow. Lin Xian also frowned. In the next moment, he directly used the tiger demon fist, and a tiger's roar sounded. A terrifying aura erupted. This was the sound of the King of Beasts. It directly shook the world, and some of the surrounding demonic beasts quickly retreated. Next, their speed was much faster. After flying for half a day, they found a terrifying scene in front of them. The trees and mountains in front of them suddenly became tall. Lin Xian even found that there were many ancient trees around them that reached the sky. It was as if there were many giant dragons that kept circling. It was terrifying. There should be a powerful life force in front of them. They passed through countless divine trees and vines. After flying quickly, they finally arrived in front of them. When the two of them landed on the ground, the quiet void became lively again. This is? Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Beside him, Yu Shircha was completely stunned. Heavens! There were many spirit fruits around them. They were like stars swaying there. The number of them was shocking. Lin Xian was also surprised. In the next moment, a look of joy appeared on his face. With a wave of his hand, countless laws were sent out, enveloping this part of the world. Then he put away all of the spirit fruits. If the Crimson Dragon and Whitey were here, they would definitely go crazy when they saw this scene. Yu Shircha also quickly made a move. She formed a seal with her palms. In her hand, the Law of Water formed a treasure that quickly collected the surrounding spirit fruits. After a while, someone nearby exclaimed, "Heavens, what is this? Look, there are so many spirit fruits here. They are all natural treasures. Hurry up and do it. Follow me." As soon as this voice was heard, it attracted the attention of the surrounding people. Countless powerful auras quickly gathered in this direction. When Lin Xian saw the scene, he also said, "Let's go." The two of them had already collected enough and did not want to be discovered. Moreover, Lin Xian felt that this place should not be just these spirit fruits. There should be other treasures. So the two of them quickly disappeared into the void. Not long after they left, dozens of figures appeared in the sky. They looked at the surrounding spirit fruits with red eyes. There were too many of them. If they could take all of them, it would be equivalent to many years of bitter cultivation. Thinking of this, these people began to attack. In an instant, all kinds of laws erupted between heaven and earth. Soon, a great battle broke out. It was very terrifying. After all, in front of such natural treasures, these people would not hold back. Chapter 43:03. The battle in the surroundings was very terrifying. All kinds of laws filled the air, but Lin Xian had already left. He continued to walk forward. Soon he stopped again. He found that there was a towering tree in front of him. It was very huge. The aura emitted from it was very rich. Clearly, it contained supreme vitality. There were also some fruits on it. After Lin Xian saw it, his eyes lit up. He turned into a stream of light and instantly rushed over. During this process, the surrounding vines and tree trunks quickly flew over, forming layers of defenses to block him. Lin Xian's man-ruler seal slammed over. The man-ruler seal covered the sky and earth and could destroy everything. However, at this moment, it was blocked here. It was really strange. He stopped with a look of surprise on his face. It seemed that this thing was indeed not simple. Lin Xian took a deep breath and directly used the great dragon sword soul. The indestructible sword slashed out. Only then did it split open the void bit by bit and cut apart those vines. That's great. Seeing this scene, his face was filled with joy. Finally, he arrived in front of the towering tree like a hot knife through butter. Then he struck out a large golden hand and grabbed at the fruit in front of him. However, the fruit suddenly swayed and bloomed with incomparable light. A terrifying power spread out in all directions like a wave. At this moment, it caused a phenomenon of heaven and earth. Lin Xian was stunned. It was too late for him to stop it. This phenomenon would definitely be seen by the people fighting in the distance. At that time, there would be even more terrifying people flying over. Thinking of this, his face turned cold, and he directly attacked. He grabbed at a fruit. The multicolored light on this fruit actually turned into a great Tao to block it. Lin Xian was greatly surprised. It seemed that these spirit fruits were indeed extraordinary. With a cold snort, he waved his hand. The large golden hand exerted force again, shattering those laws, and then grabbing them in his hand. These spirit fruits were already tens of thousands of years old. If consumed, the effect would be very good. Therefore, Lin Xian did not stop. At the same time, he said to Yu Shijie beside him, "You should also make a move. How much you can take depends on your ability." Yu Shijie took a deep breath, and a light appeared in her eyes. She would not be polite either. The two of them quickly made their moves. The energy fluctuation from before was also spreading rapidly in all directions. Those who were fighting in the distance all raised their heads and looked into the distance when they sensed the energy fluctuation. What a terrifying aura. There seemed to be even more terrifying treasures of heaven and earth there. Go quickly. These people were no longer fighting. Instead, they were all flying into the distance. When they came close and saw the towering tree, they were all stunned. They were especially shocked when they saw the gigantic hand wrapped around some spirit fruits. These people's eyes instantly turned red. The power in his body continued to erupt. Lin Xian frowned. He didn't expect these people to arrive so quickly. Lin Xian's eyes flickered, but he didn't turn around. Instead, he stared ahead. At the top of the heavenly tree, there was a fruit. That fruit was enveloped by countless multicolored great Tao lights. Half of it was black, and the other half was white. It was extremely mysterious. Moreover, there was a terrifying black and white aura surrounding it, forming mysterious runes. Could this be formed by the power of yin and yang? Lin Xian was too shocked. This heavenly tree had a powerful vitality. However, it grew in the primordial battlefield, a place filled with the aura of death. That was why this yin-yang fruit was formed. Thinking of this, Lin Xian's eyes flashed with a piercing cold light. If he could obtain the nomological laws contained in this thing, then he could increase the power of the Taiji diagram. Lin Xian wasn't the only one who saw it. The few people who came saw it too. They looked at the black and white fruit above them with a piercing cold light in their eyes. It contains the yin and yang nomological laws. If we take it and consume it, we might be able to comprehend the laws. These people were really too surprised. The yin and yang nomological laws were extremely powerful origin source laws. Very few people could comprehend them. Once they succeeded, their strength would increase by leaps and bounds. Therefore, the aura on these people's bodies was abnormally cold. However, in the next moment, their pupils constricted. "Damn brat, how dare you?" They saw that the silhouette before them had extended an enormous golden hand and grabbed toward them. The few of them roared angrily and struck out terrifying heaven and earth nomological laws directly towards the huge golden hand. They suppressed the huge golden hand. Lin Xian's face darkened. He felt the power coming from his palm. He withdrew his palm, and his expression became incomparably cold. In the next moment, he turned his head and asked coldly, "You dare to attack me? So it's you, brat." Behind him, the expression of a powerhouse from the 1,000-demon city instantly darkened. He didn't expect Lin Xian to actually come here. Moreover, it seemed that he had come earlier than them. Then, how many of the surrounding spirit fruits had the other party collected? At this moment, a powerhouse from the Limitless sect also said coldly, "I won't make things difficult for you. Since you came so early, you must have already obtained enough spirit fruits. Now I'll give you a chance to leave. As for this yin-yang fruit, don't think about it anymore." The one who spoke was also an old man. His strength had reached the late-stage holy venerable realm, and the aura on his body was very terrifying. Although Lin Xian was a top genius, so what? Firstly, he was a late-stage powerhouse himself. Here, there were many experts by his side this time. If they attacked together, the other party would definitely not be able to withstand it. Yu Shijia was also extremely nervous. She came to Lin Xian's side and said in a low voice, "Young master, what should we do?" She saw that other than the people from the Demon City and the Limitless sect, the people from Thunder God City were also there. Furthermore, the people from Great Desolation Mansion, Myriad Sword Pavilion, and Deep Sea Palace seemed to be rushing over as well. It wouldn't be long before this place was surrounded. Lin Xian looked at the sages, then at the yin-yang fruit, and a golden light appeared in his eyes. The next moment he said, "All right, we'll do as you say. I'll leave, and you won't do anything to me." "That's right," the old man from the Limitless sect said with a smile. "I can guarantee that." To be honest, a trace of disdain surfaced in his heart. This Lin Wudi was not as arrogant as he had imagined. He knew when to advance and when to retreat. The people from the Thunder God City and the 1,000-demon city also sneered. To be honest, they didn't want to let that kid go. However, they also knew that it would not be easy to kill him. Moreover, people from other sacred cities could arrive at any time. If more people arrived, it would be difficult for them to obtain the yin-yang fruit. Therefore, they decided to snatch the treasure first and then deal with this kid. Very good. Lin Xian's lips curled up into a smile. Then he quickly retreated to the side. Yu Shijia followed suit. However, her face was filled with doubt. It shouldn't be. Based on her understanding of Lin Xian, this guy would not give up the treasure so easily, especially the fruit that contained the laws of yin and yang. It was very useful to him. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.